The Lone Peak Knights and Timpview Thunderbirds have been two of the best programs in the state for the last 2 decades, combining for 14 state titles.
Roll left, got a man there, go up, make a catch, Robinson pulls it in, touchdown!
The Knights opened the season with an impressive 27-7 win over Bingham, while the Thunderbirds went blow for blow in a slugfest with 6A champion Skyridge, but came up short.
Yeah, it's a long season, but we want to see improvement every week, and so that's what we're looking for.
For the 5th straight year, these two high school heavyweights will go toe-to-toe in a non-region battle.
I do love that, actually. Timpview's a big physical team, and it's good for us.
Lone Peak versus Timpview, a Utah County battle royale. It's our Game Night Live Game of the Week. Let's go.
A KSL Sports presentation. Game Night Live kicks off now. Sponsored by UCCU.
You can't beat this backdrop for a high school football game. Welcome to Highland, Utah. We are live at Lone Peak High School, where the Knights are hosting the Timpview Thunderbirds. Jeremiah Jensen along with Stevenson Sylvester. Great matchup tonight. A Utah County Battle Royale, two of the best programs in the state over the past 2 decades, as we mentioned there in the open. These teams know how to win. These schools know how to win. And Sly, both teams played really well first week. Lone Peak got the win. Timpview did not. We'll have more on Timpview here in a moment. But let's start with Lone Peak getting that nice win against Bingham. And they had a new starting quarterback that got it done.
Yeah. Heading in, talking to this coach during the week, man, Lone Peak takes it serious. They want to schedule the hardest games at the beginning of the season to make sure that they're ready to go for region play. And that's exactly what they're doing. This young quarterback, Blake, he is a prototypical quarterback, 6'4", 190 pounds. And he really gets the job done. Did a great job in the first week getting this team ready to go. And I'm excited to see what they're ready to do tonight against Timpview.
Lone Peak with a 27-7 win over Bingham in week 1. Timpview fell short against Skyridge, but who doesn't fall short against Skyridge? Right. Skyridge, the defending 6A champs, and it looks to be Skyridge and Corner Canyon, along with this Lone Peak team, the teams to beat this year. But Timpview showed well last week in their opener, but fell short. Let's go down to Mary Louise Cook on the sideline for more on this Timpview team and their mantra going into 2023.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was just last year that Timpview found themselves in the 5A state championship, obviously just coming short of winning that title. But with every new season comes a new identity. We had the opportunity to chat with them earlier this week about why it is #AllIn.
That's what it takes, I think. You know, I've been on a lot of championship teams around a lot of successful coaches. And if you're not all in, you're short when it comes to what you want as a team goal.
It's every single day, just the little things. The little things are going to build on each other. One big thing we have is 1% better each day as a defense. And so just focusing on getting 1% better, that's how we're going to be all in.
For me, personally, I'm going to do whatever it takes to be there for my teammate and do whatever it takes to be there for my team, especially during the game, especially during crucial times as well, lift everyone up.
Great to hear why their mantra is all in. Certainly going to be what it takes tonight to get the win here on the road. Back to you guys in the booth.
Mary Louise, thank you. We're ready to go here at Lone Peak High School.
Can
90
you say
seconds away
summer
from kickoff.
Is over the way this feels tonight?
It's got a nice, cool fall feel. We're hoping, let's keep our fingers crossed, we avoid any lightning delays like a lot of teams did at the JV and sophomore level last night.
Yeah.
But nice, you're absolutely right, Sly. Nice, cool, crisp feel tonight. That heat that we've been dealing with is not present right now. And it's a great night for high school football. These two programs have combined for 14 state championships. They know how to win. Lone Peak won the state championship at the 6A level just 2 years ago. And they are talented once again.
Yeah, I love these top-tier matchups. You know, this is 5A versus 6A. As you said, 14 combined state championships. These are a culture of winning from both programs. And that's when you see this clash, you see some great football. So I'm excited to see exactly how the 5A matches with the against the 6A top tiers of the state and see if that's any difference. Because from what we've seen, the way Lehigh handles business against 6A the last couple years, when they were in 5A, there is no difference. The competition is always there. And so I'm excited to see what these two programs have done in the offseason to develop themselves and put themselves over the top.
So we're going to have a Star-Spangled Banner before kickoff. Let's pause here and join in.
A senior at Lone Peak High School. With respect for our country, men, please remove your hats and please hold your cheers until the end of the anthem. Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does the Star-Spangled Banner yet wave o'er the land of
Well done, young man. Great rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner. And with that, we are ready for some football. Our Game Night Live Game of the Week between the Timpview Thunderbirds and the Lone Peak Knights. A 6A versus 5A matchup. Two Utah County powerhouses going head-to-head here in Week 2 of the high school football season.
Looks great. Both of these teams are locked in. I cannot wait for this to get kicked off. This is great. I mean, we saw, one thing you shared earlier in this week to me is how many kids, young kids, are playing such major roles on their football team.
Yeah.
In the class of 2026, they got 4 in the state of Utah. 2 in this game. With,
Isn't that crazy?
With Helmut Kasuga and Tololo on defense.
Yeah, Bot Mulatalo of Lone Peak. Right now here, it's number 0. We're going to keep an eye on him.
Yes.
He's on the track down here getting ready to go in the game. But 2 sophomores in this game are top 100, not in Utah, in the entire country in the class of 2026. Yes, they do rank sophomores now when it comes to high school football recruiting. So there's a lot of talent in this game and on this field. We'll be seeing Helaman Kasuga, the sophomore quarterback for Timpview, who started last year and led this Timpview team to within 1 play of a state championship last year.
1 play.
Can you imagine being a freshman? And he was so good last year. You could not tell he was a freshman, and he looks even better this year. Played well against Skyridge. Look, Skyridge is a juggernaut. Yes. I don't think anyone's going to look at Timpview and say, wow, I can't believe you guys didn't make that closer. That was a good battle. It was close the whole way. A great way. I mean, give Timpview credit for taking on Skyridge week 1. They showed well in that game. And now here they are at Lone Peak. They do not shy away from anyone. Give them credit. Coach Atawaya and Coach Brockbank, for that matter, these 2 schools want to schedule the best teams they can. There he is, Helaman Kasuga, the sophomore quarterback, number 2. Keep an eye on him tonight as Timpview begins the game with the ball first at their own 20-yard line. And it's going to be a handoff. Vaya with the handoff. He's got a first down and more. Out past the 30-yard line. That's Isaiah Vaya, who played a big role in their success last season.
Great first down run, and they're going tempo here, catching the defense off guard. Normally when you go tempo, the defense has to go to something basic. They can't go to complex blitzes or coverages in tempo. That's why you go tempo, because you can get good things like that. If you can get 8 yards on first down, you're winning. So you're going to see the change in tempo from this Timpview offense up and down throughout this game. And it's going to play huge dividends to them coming in. Now they're short men. Look.
Timeout already. They did get the timeout, I believe, before the ball was snapped. Timpview was trying to rush that. So already Lone Peak has to take a quick timeout. That pass previously was caught by Keenan Pula for Timpview. Number 3 is Keenan Pula. Number 5 is Jaron Pula. Both sophomores and both very talented at the wide receiver position. It's crazy, Sly, to see these young players step up at this level, at this high of a level.
Right.
I mean, it used to be you'd rarely ever see a sophomore break into on a roster of teams at this level, because they were so much depth and so much talent on these teams. But it shows you just how good some of these young players are, that they are able to do that, especially in programs like this that have no shortage of depth.
No, key contributors here. And you know that I think Timpview's trying to make Lapati Mototolalo not a factor in this game by going up-tempo, quick passes, getting the ball out of Kasuka's hands, and leaving him at bay. Almost like what they did on the Water Boy, right? You know, just take a knee every single time, make sure he's no factor here. But you see them running away from him, they're throwing away from him, and they're getting the ball out quick.
2nd and 4. Kasuga. It's intercepted. He's got a pathway to the end zone. He's cut short at the 10-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle made by number 58, but it's Jaden Mayberry, the 6', 175-pound junior, with the interception.
This is great movement in the pocket. He just lofted that ball. If you're going that far across the field, you're on the opposite hash to start. You're going that far across the field. That's why they call that an NFL throw, right? You got to put some heat on it. You can't loft the ball like this. And gave enough time for that under defender to get under that ball and make the interception. Now, 1st and 10 here from the 14-yard line for Lone Peak.
Marley Filionga saved a touchdown there with the tackle. It's a run play for Lone Peak on their first offensive play of the game. Gets a few yards. There's Jackson Blake with the handoff to Brooks Wild. Wild had a touchdown last week on a swing pass that went to the house, 70-plus yards last week. So keep an eye on Wild, number 24. Jackson Blake getting the opportunity now as a senior. Great start last week against Bingham, throwing 3 touchdown passes. He's going to pass this time. He's going to roll to his left as the rush comes in on him, and he's in trouble. He did not get rid of it, and he's going to go down.
Yeah, you got to have a clock in your head of getting rid of the ball. A lot of these guys like to extend the play and try to be Michael Vick or Patrick Mahomes in the pocket. But you got to have a clock in your head. Sometimes throwing the ball away is the best play. He ends up losing 7 yards here, which is not the direction you want to go to, making it 3rd and long when you had premier field position, you know, charging into the end zone. So now 3rd and 12. Let's see what they can do.
Jacob Rust with the sack. Third down. Blake looking to the end zone. Fires over the middle. Caught! Touchdown, Lone Peak!
Trey Robinson. Great seam route right there. That's the triple seam right there. Unfortunately, back when I went to the Super Bowl against the Packers, that's the route that Donald Driver caught us on. It's a great way to stretch the defense and really make them vulnerable, especially over the middle. You empty everybody out in the formation. That means you have to cover certain things, but the key, the number 1 route there is that seam route right up the middle.
Logan Hoffines with the catch. 5'10", senior receiver, gets a touchdown. And just like that, Lone Peak takes a 7-0 lead. They capitalize on the turnover and turn it into points. Lone Peak with an early 7-0 lead. Here's another look at the touchdown.
Great job of looking off the safety to start, going right back to the seam route. Great job by Jackson Blake right there. Looked off the safety at the start of the snap to get the safety to move to his left, opening up that seam window right there for the receiver. This is a great senior class, both offensively and defensively for Lone Peak. It seems like we say that every single year. They have a great senior class.
They always have so much depth, and the consistency with Lone Peak's program now.
Yes.
There's a lot of these kids who have to wait until they're seniors to get their chance. We're seeing some of those guys tonight, and they're making the most of their opportunity now as seniors to lead this program. Blake to Hoffines for the game's first touchdown. 7-0 Lone Peak. We're only 155 into this, and we've already got a score.
Got a turnover, defensive turnover. Kasuga, bad play. That's the great thing about these football games. When you get top tier matchups, every single play matters. That play is going to affect the fourth quarter. By making decisions like that, you got to be on your P's and Q's. It so happens that Jackson Blake's sack didn't affect him. Honestly, it gave him a little bit more room to operate and create that play. But you can see that Lone Peak is great with situational football. They understand what plays they can run from 10 yards in, from 10 to 15 yards to 20 yards. They got a whole play sheet of what calls you call in those situations. Great job by the offensive coordinator there, and then great execution by Lone Peak.
Kasuga will try to shake that off. Bounce back here. Takes the snap and hands it off. That's Tua in the backfield.
Besides the turnover, Timpview was moving the ball really effectively on that first drive. So let's see if they can get back to that, or if Lone Peak has woke up.
Quick pass outside. It's caught. That's Kazon Villa, who does a little bit of everything for Timpview.
Yeah, that kid is talented. Covering him last year, he was all over the field. And it was just one of those situations where just get him the football. That's what it's all about. Kazon Villa is a definite dynamite talent that you just watch. With the ball in his hands, he makes things happen.
Well, I love now Sly on rosters. They now have him listed as not necessarily the position, but athlete.
Yep.
And Kazon Villa is an athlete. Handoff up the middle. Breaks a tackle. Toa up near the 40, down to the 38-yard line is where they'll mark it.
All these guys were huge factors in that Timpview run to the state championship last year, where they were a little short to Lehigh. So to see them come back and be huge contributors is just great.
Drew Toa again. Short gain past the 40. Now Drew Toa, one of those players last year. It's part of that run. A lot of experience on this Timpview team despite some youth. Toa again up the middle. We're getting a heavy dose of run here. Up past the 45.
Going to lull them to sleep with the run until they really commit to the run with those safeties, and then they're going to hit them over the top.
Toa's going to take a break. Kasuga's going to throw. Quick hitter. It's caught. Nice catch. Great effort. That's a Pula. Keenan Pula with the catch.
Great job right there. It's very hard for that first receiver. That first receiver thought he was in the window, but understood the ball was a little high, so it must have not been to him. Great job of not trying to go up and catch it and mess that ball up.
It's 1st and 10. Timpview's now crossed midfield. They're marching. Trips to the right. And it's another handoff.
It's a great job. Their offensive line is reestablishing the line of scrimmage like crazy. You can get 4 yards a carry. That's winning.
Consistently getting 4 or 5 yards on these carries. It's working right now. Timpview getting into a rhythm. Another handoff. Trutoa back in the game. Tries to break a tackle but cannot. That tackle made by number 5.
There's another thing,
Easton Anderson.
Folks, when you're watching this game and you see this up-tempo offense, look at the control that Kasuga has. True sophomore quarterback, got complete control of this, understanding exactly where to go, where his protection lies, where his number 1 receivers are, in which play call. Very deep playbook here, and they're just running very effectively.
Prior to the snap,
False start, number 71 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay, third down.
Big third down here. Big third down because they turn the ball over on the first drive. They need to come away with something here to stay in this game.
3rd and 10 from the 46. The rush is on. Kasuga gets rid of it. Another interception.
Wow.
Easton Anderson had a nice tackle early on this drive, and now he's got a pick. 2 drives for Timpview, 2 interceptions. This is coming back a ways, but it's going to be Lone Peak football.
Both of these interceptions is because of the pressure. The pressure that Kasuga was facing, he feels uncomfortable in the pocket and lofts the football.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You know, honestly, you got to escape. You have an extreme athletic ability. You got to escape the pocket and deliver the football against good football teams. You can't just loft the football like that, especially over the middle. Great job by Lone Peak at capitalizing on the moment here. Unfortunately, there's a penalty knocking them back, but they still retain the football.
So Lone Peak football, this drive will start from the 29-yard line. That's a massive penalty.
Yeah. But it's just 1st and 10. It's not like 1st and 25.
It's common you see that when the defender all of a sudden becomes the offensive player, right?
Don't hold. Don't block in the bag.
They know how to do one thing. They know how to hit.
Yes.
They got caught there. Jackson Blake going deep over the middle. Nobody there. Intended receiver was about 10 yards away.
But that's what you want to do right there. Right after a turnover, go for it.
Absolutely.
Go for it. You know, put the momentum all the way in your favor by going for it and having a big carry. That's why I like after a big completion, they go up tempo and try to catch the defense off guard. But that's exactly what I would do. I would go for it. There was just nobody in that area for that.
2nd down and 10. Blake in shotgun, as he will be for most of the game. It's going to be a handoff. It's Brooks Wild again. Short gain, not much there. They're going to give him the 31-yard line, so a gain of about 2 yards. We'll bring up 3rd and long. I think Lone Peak would like to try to establish some sort of run game. But you see that size Timpview has up front. They aren't small by any means. Of course, Lone Peak's got a lot of beef up front too. You see there's a lot of big guys in that front there.
Yeah, nobody's shy about weight around here.
Lone Peak's always had great young players in that offensive line.
That's how you know you got a top-tier program when everybody's in the right position, right? I've seen over the years so many receiver-type bodies playing tackle. And receiver-type bodies playing nose tackle and just out of place. But, you know, this is a top-tier program. They got guys coming here. They train all off-season. Football is now a year-round sport, right? It wasn't like that before. It was normally basketball was the year-round sport, but these guys train for this every single. As soon as this season's done, they're in the weight room just like college. These good programs, man, they keep it running and make sure they're ready to go and ready to fight for state championships year after year.
6:45 left first quarter, 7-0 Lone Peak. Knights facing 3rd and 8. Blake in the pocket. Over the middle. That was almost intercepted. A little too high. Pass was intended for number 10, Trey Robinson. But that'll end the drive, and Lone Peak will be forced to punt.
Great defense for Timpview there, getting a 3 and out, staying strong, holding strong, and they'll be able to get their offense the ball back in really good field position. They get 5-6 yards on this return. That'll give their offense a 70-yard football field, man. And that's exactly what you want. Oh!
That was nearly blocked.
It was blocked. Get away from it.
But there was contact. A flag is on the ground after contact was made with the punter.
Call running into the kicker.
Valley's punt will be down at the 49-yard line. It'll be first and 10.
I'm running into the kicker here.
I don't think it was roughing. I think it was just running into the kicker. Oh, they're calling it on Lone Peak.
Let's wait and see what the call is from our crew tonight.
Into the kicker on the
running
return
into the
team.
kicker.
5-yard penalty. Replay, 4th down.
So it'll still be 4th down.
5-yard penalty. 4th down and 3.
Yeah, just running in the kicker. That's not roughing the kicker. It's only a 5-yard penalty. But they'll repunt here. And I'm pretty sure Timpview will go safe, so they don't even get close to the kicker. Again.
Although as much penetration as they got there, they may want to continue to put pressure on this group here.
Yeah.
They came very close to a game-changing play, though. Not this time, though. Plenty of time to get it off, and he does. Nice high punt. Short but high, no return.
Oh,
what a bounce!
You got to catch that.
Oh, boy.
Go to the end zone.
Oh, that was more entertaining than any of us expected.
Oh, you got to catch that.
The ball rolls right into the end zone for a touchback.
Great
The
kick.
ball bounced. Didn't it bounce at the 40?
Great kick, first of all.
Wow.
First of all, the way the rotation of that football was, the returner was just like, I don't know if I want to touch this. Because he's got to catch that football.
Yeah.
You know, if you're fair catching it or not, you catch that football to make sure that doesn't happen. But he's got to do something, get away from the football, something, because that ball could bounce any kind of way, touch you, and next thing you know, it's Lone Peak football.
That could have gone badly for Timpview on multiple levels,
yes.
But instead they're going to have the ball at the 20-yard line. Kasuga's going to hand it off up the middle. Short gain.
Toe is
about 4 yards.
People around. He is a load tonight.
Via on that carry. They got a group of running backs
yes,
they really
do.
like that are very experienced. Via and Toa had plenty of carries last year. It's going to be Via again. Up to the 30-yard line. And that's right at the marker. That's going to move the chains.
Up tempo again.
After these first 2 possessions, not surprising that they're going to go a little run heavy here.
Yeah, see, now they're getting those safeties creeping up.
Ooh, what a play. Oh, he got away. True Toa got away, and he was very fortunate. Tegan Towell was right there, had him for the big tackle for loss, and could not get him. Nice effort by Toa to get free. Still a loss of almost 4 yards. Kasuga into pocket, quick hitter, incomplete. Nakua, the intended receiver. Yes, the younger brother of
Samson and Puka.
Puka and Samson.
Who's having a great training camp with the Rams, by the way.
Puka's going to make that 53-man roster with the Rams. There's no doubt about that.
As you can see, Lone Peak's coming with pressure here.
Prior to the play, encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
This is one of those Madden plays where you just want to say, all go by the receivers. They're bringing that pressure. They're going to leave. They have a post safety. If you can run that post safety off, that middle of the field is going to be wide open.
So 3rd down and 8 from the 32-yard line. Kasuga. He's going to roll right where he had 3 receivers. Now he's going to run up the middle. He's very close. I think he has a first down.
Yeah.
That is past the 40-yard line. That'll move the markers.
As we said, he's extremely athletic. He's got to utilize his legs and put himself in position to succeed here. This is a great job here of not forcing the football, pulling it down and running and using your legs here because you had a lane. Great job by Kasuga.
Nakua with the catch outside, a gain of about 1 yard. Nice play there by the Lone Peak secondary to make sure he didn't get any farther than that. Drew Gunnarsson was there for the tackle.
Great job, up tempo here.
Nakua, senior part of this great senior class for Timpview. Kasuga Over the middle. Caught. Nakua loose past the 50. Down to the 46-yard line, enough for a first down. And the Thunderbirds are once again across midfield and driving here with 4:16 to play first quarter. And they are going tempo.
This is like really up-tempo, though. This isn't like no huddle. This is really up-tempo to the point where guys are almost off sides because they're running back. It's a great job by this Timpview, especially the offensive linemen. You can see as soon as the play is done, they are up and ready at the line of scrimmage waiting for their next play.
So Via with that carry. We're going to have a pause in the action here.
Another timeout.
As the Lone Peak Knights are going to take a timeout, and so will we. 3:53 to go first quarter. Lone Peak leads Timpview 7-0. Game Night Live.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to
Welcome back to Lone Peak High School. 7-0. Lone Peak leads Timpview. Early on here, we got 3:53 left to play first quarter.
Still the first quarter.
We've had a lot of action.
Exactly.
2 interceptions already, 1 touchdown pass, and all kinds of drama on a punt. Actually took 2 plays after a penalty for that punt situation to play out. But here we are with Timpview driving 2nd and 7 from their Lone Peak 43.
Very different from last week, right?
Oh, yeah. Last week's first half went by fast.
Lehigh had 4 possessions.
Right.
Like, Timpview's already had 3 possessions in there, 2 ending in interceptions. But a lot of offense has been played.
They're playing fast. Kazon Villa with the carry. And he's really close to that marker. They might mark him a yard, half a yard short. So it'll be a 3rd down and a short 1.
It's a great mix of run and pass for Timpview. Keeping Lone Peak on their heels, not understanding what's coming.
Is that enough? Toa with the carry. True Toa.
Great job. First down. But just look at this offensive line. Look at the push from this offensive line getting up. They understand what they got. The defense knows what's coming. But you're just understanding this is the weight room. This is the weight room. This is a huge offensive line just moving the line of scrimmage just enough to get that first down every single time. It's almost like a guaranteed I'm going to get at least 1 or 2 yards on tough yardage plays like that.
Kasuga looking left.
Nice.
Going to go with the check down to Kazon Villa. Villa's making something out of this, but we got a penalty on the play.
It's going to be holding by the offensive receiver there, so it's going to take him back 10 yards.
What? Holding. Crap, I think it suck.
Great play call. As I said, you don't need to go deep. You don't have to take the risky throws all the time. Take what's open. Take what they're giving you. I think I've seen it on every single play here. Lone Peak is giving you something. One of those routes are open. You just got to take the easy one. Don't think you have to win. Just move down the field methodically. You know, take what they're giving you because that big play, the big chunk play is going to come.
During the play, we have holding on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty. After the play,
as much as they've been moving down the field,
we got 2 penalties.
We'll go back 10 and then go 15.
Late hit on the tackle of
it was
Villa. I was so focused on the holding, I didn't.
No, it was.
Recognize that. Yeah, that was.
You get him out of bounds. You got to stop. He didn't stop. He went all the way almost to the track there.
So the end result here is 1st and 5 for Timpview. They're officially going to call it 4 yards from the 30.
They get a first down. Shouldn't it be replay the down? 1st and 10.
I guess no offsetting penalties. Again, high school's different.
But why is it first down?
Because I think they're playing the play over, but they get the yardage because one was a hold.
Bizarre.
One was a hold and one was.
So this is still the advantage to Timpview.
Oh, absolutely. But
now
Lone Peak committed the more egregious penalty.
But now I get 4 plays to get 4 yards?
Yeah, you do.
I would say if they were offsetting, then it's 1st and 10. But
tackle made. Vaya was the carrier.
It's great defense.
He goes down.
Right there. Great flow by those linebackers there.
Jackson Arrington with a nice tackle for loss. It's a 2-yard loss. So back to the 32. Timpview had a nice rhythm on offense, and it's been disrupted here. See if they can get back on track. And
one-on-one on the outside there.
They're going to call that.
Offsides.
Let's hear the call.
Part of the snap, encroachment on the defense. Lead. Still be second down.
Replay second down. So you stop him, you get a tackle for loss, and then you get a 5-yard penalty. So now it was 1st and 4, and 2nd and 6. Now it's 2nd and 2.
Should be about 1, if my math is correct.
Yeah. 2nd and 1. And as I said, watch how this offensive line moves the line of scrimmage here.
Little mix-up in the backfield. Toa ends up with it. I think he came up just slightly short.
Yeah, if he didn't get mixed up, they didn't get mixed up with that handoff. There was a seam there. But the way they run, their offensive running style, it's got to be quick hitting. It's almost like the fullback dive in the old traditional offenses. It's got to be really quick. And if it's not, there's a little bit of hesitation. Those DNs are closing in on him.
Kasuga with the push, 1st down and 10 for Timpview. They're now inside the 25-yard line.
I am beside myself at why more teams don't do that.
Right.
That right there is an amazing football play.
Yep.
That QB sneak, that up-tempo QB sneak, we called it, in Pittsburgh, we called it purple. As soon as I heard purple, I know Big Ben he's QB sneaking it. But, yeah, this is... That's a great offensive play to get 1 yard quickly. That way you don't have to decide. I don't have to huddle. I don't have to call timeout. I don't have to do nothing.
Kasuga over the middle. Oof, nobody there.
He should have threw the wheel route. I thought he was throwing the wheel route. That's what was open.
Yeah, they had some communication error there. In fairness to Kasuga, the heat was on.
Yeah.
Lone Peak sent a blitz, and he had somebody in his face there. He had to make a quick decision, and it was the wrong one.
Yeah, his thing is he's got to anticipate pressure. That's one thing. But his read is that free safety. If that free safety stays inside, throw the wheel route. If that free safety goes over the top, throw the inside route. That free safety stayed inside, and he threw it inside.
Kasuga handed off. Kazon Villa up the middle. Room to run.
Wow.
Breaks a couple tackles. Dragging a defender inside the 5-yard line. Down to the 3. Kazon Villa.
That's how you run like you will not be denied.
Wow.
Comes up limping a little bit there. But he'll be all right. That was an amazing run by the athlete. The receiver / running back / tight end / third string QB.
Handoff. Up the middle. Trying to push his way in. Is not going to happen. Lone Peak turns him back. Yeah, it's nice to have an athlete on the roster, right?
Oh, yeah. Put him anywhere. It's very hard for defenses to game plan that for that guy because defenses want to get complex. Oh, if he does this, then you got to do this. And for young defenses, it's very hard to get all of the different calls and requirements that it takes to accommodate certain athletes. That's why those dual threat, triple threat quarterbacks present such a threat to defenses because it's hard to game plan for.
Vaya and Toe in the backfield. Kasuga hands off to Vaya. Follows his blockers into the end zone for the touchdown.
Look at that push.
The Timpview Thunderbirds get into the end zone with 30 seconds left here in the first quarter, and they have a chance to tie this game with the extra point.
Oh, my gosh, this offensive line push is amazing. This is what you want. When you guys are game planning and looking at, okay, if I want to run the ball, this is the type of push. It's a wedge. Great wedge right off the left guard. Just amazing way for this offensive line. I don't know how they do it. They double team down and just push the line of scrimmage. But that line of scrimmage was all the way 2 yards into the end zone. Very, very good running play.
The extra point is good, and we have a tie ball game. So Timpview with an excellent drive, capped off by this run by Vaya.
Look at this. This offensive line is just whooping butt all the way, all over the place.
Road graders.
Yes. Woo. Yes. And as I said, the way they do their run plays, it's quick hitting. Just almost like those fullback dives, you got to hit it quick because they make quick surges with that offensive line, and those windows are there. So But great job by this running attack. Honestly, there wasn't a big pass. I think there was only one big pass on that. It got 10 yards. Otherwise, that was all run for 80 yards. Great job right there by that Timpview offense, which, you know, to their credit, the 3 drives that they've had, they've been extremely efficient. They've had 2 interceptions, but other than that, they've been moving the football. Their up-tempo offense has really thrown Lone Peak for a loop.
All even now, it's 7 apiece. This is exactly what we expected when we came here for this game. Is a great matchup between 2 schools and teams that know each other really well. They've played each other for 5 consecutive seasons. And Lone Peak hasn't forgotten what happened last year. Timpview blew them out in game 1 last year. And Lone Peak was able to bounce back and have a great season afterwards. But there's players on this Lone Peak team who were in that game last year that have not forgotten that feeling. And they want to win this.
Yes.
And if you slide for Timpview, you know, to have 2 turnovers and be tied right now, they're very fortunate that those interceptions didn't hurt them more than they did.
And the thing about those turnovers, and this is to Lone Peak, they got to capitalize on those, because those turnovers weren't like something where that's going to happen all the time. He lofted the ball where he shouldn't have lofted the ball. He can. That's game plan to be able to change that. Great squib kick.
Jackson Farrar, the kick.
If you get a squib kick that stays on the ground that long, that's a good squib kick. That means the kick return team doesn't know who's going to take it, and they get no return off of that. So great squib kick right there.
So 26.9 seconds left here in the first quarter. Lone Peak will start this drive at their own 30. Jackson Blake and shotgun. Over the top, over the middle, into double coverage. Incomplete. That pass was intended for Trey Robinson, who had an amazing catch last week. It was number 2 on our Game Night Live top 5 plays of the week.
Yeah, that was double coverage. Trying to force that in there. Good thing the ball was high. Nobody could catch it, not his receiver or the defender, so good play.
Blake has trips to his right, and before the handoff takes place, had a false start.
Yeah. I didn't know, was the center like throwing his hand back? I don't know if he was trying to signal and hiked it at the same time.
It'll set him back 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 15 from the 25. 20.9 seconds left on the game clock. Blake with an empty backfield. Screen pass. Brooks Wild has it. Tries to break a tackle, could not. He gets a lot of yardage back, and
3rd and 2.
Just short of a first down.
Great play call right here. You spread them out, make sure you think you're going to go deep, and you hit them with the running back screen. That's a perfect play call right there for the situation. All Timpview's eyes were on the receivers that were really spread out. That's how you're keeping the defense honest there.
So that's the end of the first quarter. Timpview and Lone Peak tied up at 7. Now, Slide, we talked about Timpview having a lot of these players back from last year. They're highly motivated after the heartbreak of falling short in a state championship game. Let's go down to Mariluz Cook for more on that.
Yeah, Jeremiah, like you said, it was a loss in the state championship that definitely is adding some fuel to their season last year. Not only was it a loss, but it was a triple overtime loss. Talk to them about how it's affecting them this season and how it's serving as fuel. Let's take a look.
It's brought up constantly. We use it as fuel more than anything, especially because we've been in that position so many times, and it is a challenge to get that far. And so we just know it's going to take a lot to get there, but then even more to take that next step in winning it.
It fueled us as a group and as a team, but that's the thing, we can't focus so much on that because that was a different group. And so what we have right now is just, an opportunity to improve on what we did last year as a program.
Certainly a new season, but never hurts to have a little bit of fuel heading into this one. Back to you guys.
Absolutely, Mary Louise. We all could use some fuel. I could use some fuel right now.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to drop by some snacks and some caffeine by the
We got some
press
crumble
box.
cookies.
Oh, yes, we do.
That were laid right in front of us. Oh, the Twix one. That one's fire. That's
okay.
one of my favorite.
That's going down at halftime.
Yeah, that's a good one right there. But we got delivered some crumble cookies by Jackson Blake's father, Brock Blake.
Much appreciated.
Much appreciated.
Nice push here. Up to the 45-yard line. Physical football game here tonight. Brooks Wild with the carry. He's going to need to take a rest after that.
Oh, yeah. It's a great way to pick up that first down with that quick out route, and you follow it up with a really strong run where you get 4 or 5 yards. You get 4 yards every single time you run the ball. You're getting first downs. You're moving the football. So great job with Serge on that offensive line.
Blake's going to throw over the top.
Nice. Great.
Incomplete pass.
Oh, I thought he had that.
Robinson could not hold on to it. The pass was right where it needed to be, and he could not haul it in.
Oh, Trey Robinson right there. That was an amazing window that Jackson Blake had to fit the ball into right there. He beat the cornerback just enough to where he needed to. The safety was just enough inside. It had that window. He's got to hold on to that football and bring that home. That was a great play call, great throw by Jackson Blake. Unable to finish that.
So it's 3rd and 6 from the 45. Blake.
Hit that swing.
Now he's in trouble. And he's going down.
Got to have that clock in your head.
Team sack for the Timpview Thunderbirds.
Yeah. That's the thing, as a quarterback, it's so hard to make these decisions, right? You have your check down route, the swing route out there. It may not get the first down, but you get 6 yards closer, which gives your punter 6 yards closer, which means you can punt the ball and pin your opponent down inside the 10-yard line possibly by being that much closer. In a game like this, field position is key. And so sometimes, especially early in the football game like this is right now, you want to take that check down.
Jalen Namulauti. We got another contact there. Return may not matter.
I don't know if that's roughing. That would be running into the kicker right there.
I was going to mention Jalen Namulauti and Daniel Beckstead had that sack. And then we had this.
Oh, wow.
That's the next level. That's a first down.
Oh, that was roughing.
That's twice Timpview's come close to blocking, but both times they get a penalty.
They got to do, Timpview needs to do some punt block drills. I remember we used to run these in practice. I was just like, why the heck are we running these? But now I realize, like, there's a technique. Just because you get close to the punter doesn't mean you're going to get it. And if you get that close to the punter, you hit the punter, you rough the punter, that's the worst thing you could do. And that's exactly what happens here. That's a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down for this Lone Peak offense, and they get the ball in Timpview territory with only 47 yards to go for a touchdown.
New life for Lone Peak on this possession. Wild running free and gets taken down past the 40-yard line of Timpview.
Great running play right there. 6 yards, power roll, follow that guard all the way through. As I said, this is a great senior class on both sides of the ball. It's experience. Brooks Wild is great running back. Jackson Blake getting his opportunity this year. This team, man. Trey Robinson, as you said, an amazing catch last week.
Blake over the middle. It's tipped. Nearly intercepted. A nice play there by number 9. That's Ta'ani Makasini. He was very close to hauling that in for an interception.
That's a big body roaming over the middle. It's very hard to get dump passes over that with a tall safety like that, just roaming over the middle.
So that brings up 3rd and 3 from the 40. Over the middle again. This time it's caught. Down to the 15-yard line. A big gain. Seth Haskett with the catch. And the Lone Peak Knights are in the red zone.
Yep, take what they're giving you. They're giving you that inside play right there. You got to take it. That safety came down, was reading 2-1. He just has to wait a little bit. He's got to provide some shade to that inside route and ultimately then fan out to the number one. He just ran out to number one too quickly and didn't allow the corner to come in on number one receiver. But that's just two go routes right there. Great seam pickup right there.
Blake looking for a while, going to go outside. It's not there. The intended receiver was number 12, Jay-Sean Mayberry, who was the recipient of an 80-yard bomb last week. A great play. You'd like to get Mayberry going again. Mayberry, a sophomore receiver. Had a big play last week in the win over Bing. So 2nd and 10 from the 16. 9:05 to play in this half. Blake is going to look to his right where he has 3 receivers. Now he's got to escape the pocket.
Don't force it. Nice.
They come back to get the catch. And it's a touchdown. Mayberry. Jay-Sean Mayberry, for the 2nd straight week, has a touchdown for the Lone Peak Knights.
Great comeback on that route right there. This is a great job. Against great competition right there. Understanding that my quarterback is scrambling, I need to uncover. I'm covered. He didn't throw the ball to me initially. So recorrect my route, come back to the football. Jay-Sean with a great job of coming up with that play right there. It's a connection that Jackson Blake and Jay-Sean we can see for the rest of the season. That's an amazing play right there.
Again, we talk about sophomores. Just another sophomore that stepping up on a big stage. There was a penalty flag on this play, and the officiating crew is discussing this. I'm not sure what or why. We'll wait to see.
Normally,
looks like they're asking Lone Peak what they want to do, so it tells you it's probably against Timpview.
It was probably defensive holding. They're trying to decide whether it was pass interference, because if the quarterback is out of the pocket, you can make contact with the receiver and stuff like that. So that's probably something that they're discussing there.
They're going to wave it off, yep.
Yeah.
You're exactly right,
they were probably thinking pass interference, but since the quarterback was moving, the defender can, since the quarterback was out of the pocket, the defender can make contact with that receiver there. So that takes multiple refs to have different things as far as, no, the quarterback was out of the pocket, they can make contact. What point did you see the contact? And so great job by the referees there coming up with a good play call.
Great job by Blake. Not an easy throw to make.
No,
it was right on the money. Mayberry came back to get it, and the Lone Peak Knights, pending the extra point here, take a touchdown lead.
I feel like this is going to be a back-and-forth game.
This is exactly what we expected.
Oh, yeah. This is...
Now I can't wait to see what Timpview does.
Yeah, because their offense, man, they're moving the ball extremely well. I think at the end of the day, it's going to be which defense comes up and makes a play, which Lone Peak has made 2 big plays.
The extra point is good. Lone Peak takes a 14-7 lead. Here's another look at the touchdown.
Out of the pocket here. Great throw. That's tough. Pressure in his face. Great job of coming back to the football.
That's how you do it. Friday Night Lights. We're having a good time here at Lone Peak High School. The Knights lead Timpview 14-7. We'll be right back after this.
Running Company is inspiring our community to move with purpose, embrace adventure, and consciously connect to their bodies. Exercise is essential now more than ever. Take control of the chaos and make time for you. From the gym to the trail, SLRC can help you find the focus to define your finish line. Visit any of our locations along the Wasatch Front or shop online at slrc.com.
High kickoff here to... That ball's loose and free.
Oh,
Who's got it?
Lone Peak's got it.
The Knights
That's not a punt.
Have the ball.
It's not a punt. You got to get on that football.
That is more effective than an onside kick.
Yes, because look how far down the field they are.
Wow.
They're on the 26-yard line. That's way more effective than an onside kick.
Sly, we've seen special teams now make a huge difference in this game. 2 special teams plays have really flipped this game Lone Peak's way.
Yeah, anybody that says special teams is not important, just take a look at this football game. You got we had a running in the kicker. That was a penalty. That should have been your first clue to stay away from him. The very next series, you get a roughing the kicker, 15-yard penalty, giving the opposing team the ball and allowing them to score. And now here, a squib kick that you don't recover.
Big hit. Gabriel Tom pays a price there. Now we got a flag. Late in that play, there's some laundry on the field. Let's find out what that's about. A face mask penalty. And Timpview is really paying a price for some mistakes here.
These are self-inflicted wounds. If you want to win a football game, especially a tough football game against tough football teams, you can't kill yourself.
We've got a timeout. 8:43 to play in the first half. Lone Peak with a 14-7 lead.
My new Chevy Blazer. The first time I saw one driving down the road, I knew I had to have one. It fits my skis perfectly. It's cute and comfy. I got my Chevy Blazer at John Watson Chevrolet. My experience was amazing. The staff always treats you like family, and it was easy from start to finish. I would rate John Watson Chevrolet 5 stars. In fact, I would give them 10 stars.
John Watson Chevrolet, your 5-star Chevy dealer.
I would definitely recommend anyone looking for a new car to come to John Watson Chevrolet.
At UCCU,
Lone Peak ball 1st and 10 from the Timpview 14-yard line after the kickoff that the Knights recovered. And the 15-yard penalty for Timpview for face mask. Over the middle, caught, touchdown, Brooks Wild.
Wow.
And the Knights take a 20-7 lead.
H route right out of the backfield. That is one of the hardest routes for linebackers to cover because you have to teach patience, right? In a game where you're so amped, you're trying to prevent them from doing things. If you overcommit, you shoot right inside of you. That's what Brooks Wild did right there. Touchdown right over the middle.
Wild turn of events here with the 2 mishaps on special teams. The face mask. That's no good, so it's 20-7, Lone Peak.
Another running into the kicker on an extra point.
Oh, we're going to get a second try on this. Right over the middle, great pass by Blake.
Yeah, when you spread everybody out, that middle is wide open. Take what they're giving you. If they're giving you that, take it. That's a hot route right there. That's just hot, hot, hot. Honestly, that's probably not even the original route. But he's like, yo, you see this void right here? Red, red, red. He just shot that gap right there.
Hey, it's
Touchdown.
running in the kicker.
That's former BYU and NFL player Ryan Denny, who's the defensive coordinator for Lone Peak, getting his defense ready after the change of possession here. Denny's done a great job with this Lone Peak defense. Certainly has the credentials. You spend a decade in the NFL with the Buffalo Bills and his time at BYU. How valuable is that, Sly, to have someone with that kind of experience running your defense? Wow.
There's just things that you can anticipate when you have experience like that at the helm. You know, it's adjustments that can be made quickly. One, your players really understand guys like that. They listen. You know, it's harder for parents. You know, kids don't really listen to their parents, but they'll go out and listen to some random person.
Right.
You know, when you got guys that have been there on that level like Denny has, guys listen to him. And you're able to put complex defenses in and make things happen. So it's always a plus to have that type of experience in your program for many different reasons.
Adam Connor's extra point attempt is good, and the Lone Peak Knights have a 21-7 lead with 8:42 to play here in the first half. So some miscues by Timpview. You had the first touchdown by Lone Peak was scored because of an interception, short field. That led to the points. And then you had the mishap on the punt that gave them new life, and on the second touchdown drive for Lone Peak, and then that botch. I don't know what you want to call that.
It wasn't
on
botched.
the kickoff.
There's confusion. That's why you do squib kick.
You got to know you got to know football situations, live ball. You got to get that ball.
Those up men don't want to touch the football. They want to get the ball back to the returners. But this is why you do squib kick, because there's confusion. Sometimes teams that aren't prepared for it, they don't practice these certain things, and they're just left out in the open. So you're going to see another squib kick. Lone Peak will probably squib kick it the rest of the game.
As they should. Connors will put it up into the air. Yep, another high kick.
Sky kick here. Yep, confusion right there, right?
Who's going to take it?
Is that a jump ball in football? Simultaneous possession. Nobody wanted to give it up. Yeah. So, but again, look what the sky kick did there.
Yeah.
You know, it created confusion for them. To the point it was like, who gets this? And honestly, it's got to be like me. They got to have that communication there, and they did it.
It's like outfielders in baseball calling for a fly ball.
Yes, exactly. But there's some special teams issues with Timpview that they got to get ironed out for sure.
Well, Timpview will try to bounce back here, down 21-7. They got plenty of time, and honestly, their offense found a rhythm.
Yes.
A moment ago, and they could easily be ahead in this game, but miscues.
They've been off the field for a little bit now.
Have led to the game going the other direction. So they'll try to bounce back here. They certainly have the offense and the players to get right back into this. 8:41 to go, first half. Kasuga. Kazan Villa in motion. It's going to be a run play. Right up the middle. Room to run. Toa on the loose all the way up to the 35-yard line. True Toa with his longest run of the game.
Yes, this is a great job right here by Toa. As I said, this offense is just really, really efficient. Great mix of run and pass, taking what they give him.
Kasuga up the middle, and he slides wisely, about a gain of a 7 or 8. They're going to keep that pace going.
But look how quickly they get back up to the line of scrimmage. They're already getting the play. This is very different than what we seen last week with the tempo.
Much different.
Right? But look how they're doing their hurry-up offense. This is how you run it. Before the referees is even set, you are ready to go for your next play. Pick up that first down, move the chains. You got to wait for the chains to get set. You already have your next play in. Look at the receivers. Look at the offensive linemen. Everybody's ready to go. That communication is quick. You tell you a quick offensive line blocking scheme, and they tell the far receiver, and then you're off to the races.
Lone Peak looks like they're going to send some extra heat here. And now they back off while Timpview changes the play. Villa and Toa in the backfield with Kasuga. Takes the snap. There is heat. He gets rivets. Caught by Pula. He's going to take it to the house. 56 yards for the touchdown. It's Keenan Pula with the touchdown. I told you, they got the guys. And just like that, Timpview's right back in this ball game.
Wow. That was 40 seconds. 80 yards in 40 seconds. This, as I said, this offense is moving the football. But as we said before, they've been running the ball so effectively, those safeties are going to cheat up. And that's exactly what happened there. That's what they said. They did a check with me. They changed the play because they saw how chased up those safeties were. And that post route came wide open. Great job by Kasuga with a great pass. And the two running backs in the backfield, great max protection as well, giving him that QB pocket that you needed here to deliver that football. The referee wasn't even in the way. Great job.
Wasn't even touched.
Untouched. That was a great play call, but great execution by both guys. Bad angle by the corner. You got one job. You got one guy. That was a really bad angle right there by the corner.
Simple pitch and catch.
Yep, simple pitch and
56
catch.
yards. Keenan Pula with the touchdown, and Timpview cuts that lead in half. 21-14. 7:30 left in the half.
They didn't have the special teams miscues.
Oh, no, it's we don't have stats, unfortunately, for us, but I think Timpview has more offensive yardage by far here.
The way they're running the ball, moving up and down, but they've had...
And time of possession as well.
Special teams miscues, honestly, because, you know, the interceptions, right? They get interception yardage back. I would say Timpview is really on top as far as yardage goes.
No question.
And then you get your special teams miscues, because on all their drives where they've scored, they've needed to drive 80 yards down the field to get into the end zone. And they make it happen on multiple drives here. So it's very, very interesting how all this is going to play out.
It is windy here. It is probably about 25, 30 mile per hour wind coming from the south that is impacting things out there. And Timpview is driving with the wind in this quarter. Got a lot of other great games happening around the state, and one that has a lot of national eyeballs on it tonight is Bishop Gorman at Corner Canyon. Those two teams tied after one quarter. Decent return out past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Matthias Namahine with the return, and that's where Lone Peak will start this next drive with 7:21 to play here in the first half. And this has been a long first half, Slug.
Yes, yeah.
A lot of action.
Lots and lots of action. I can't even say that it was because of penalties. It's been, you know, just a great back and forth. It was crazy. It's been long, and Timpview's going up-tempo, right? They're going up-tempo, running the clock. But, you know, both of these teams are very strategic and taking this game very seriously, almost like it's a region game that it has very much importance on their season. This matchup, as you said, they've been playing back-to-back. These teams know each other, and they want to get this win. This is an out-of-division, out-of-region rivalry here going on here. A lot of back and forth. Great throw there by Jackson Blake. Making it second and manageable. Controlled down here.
Blake again over the top. Intercepted.
What are you doing?
Timpview's got the ball now.
What is your read? One, the receiver. There was two issues on that. The receiver came too far inside. If the receiver seen the safety, he needs to cut his route more outside. Unless his route was just a post. And if that's his route, Jackson Blake should not have been looking there at all. That safety didn't move.
Yep.
That safety was there the entire time. He lofted the ball. As I said, in games like this, you have to take what they're giving you. Timpview is giving you certain things at certain times. That was 2nd and 1. Take the check down route. Or run the football. That's another caveat there. But now you're giving the ball back. And honestly, to me, Timpview has all the momentum. They can't be stopped on offense unless they stop themselves by throwing an interception. But they are highly efficient. There you go, screen and go.
Villa taken down in the backfield for a big loss. Haven Holiday, by the way. Haven Holiday had that interception. And now Timpview with the ball. But we got all kinds of crazy stuff going on here. This is a mess.
I mean,
yeah, this is getting heated.
Chippy, there goes Denny. Great job coaching, knowing that you can't mess up the play here. The thing is, they're going to call horse collar here, but I'm like, how? You can't really call horse collar because he didn't bring him to the ground.
Let's see if we give a... Oh, he got it. He got the mask on the way.
Was it the front of the mask or the back of the helmet?
That's what it looked like to me. And that's obviously what the officials saw.
Yeah.
On the pull down, he came across the face mask.
I thought it was the back of the helmet.
Started on the back, and then when he turned and twisted, got a piece on the front, and that's what they're calling here.
Okay.
So instead of a loss of, we would have been a loss of 10 yards. This is huge.
Personal foul, face mask, number 20 on the defense.
And then you got after the play.
After the play, personal foul on Timpview. Will march off both penalties. Replay, first down.
Oh, wow. Offsetting penalties. Okay. Okay, so the ball's going to be down there, and you're just going to reset it. Oh, the chains are having issues. I don't know if they know what they're looking at here. So now it's about to be 1st and 20.
So a huge mistake by Timpview. They could have had the face mask penalty that would have bailed them out of the situation. Instead, because of the penalties essentially offsetting, the play stands.
But that's what's weird, because if it was a face mask, then it would be 15 yards that way, and then after the play.
So essentially they both count, but they mark one forward 15 and then back the other with the play standing, but now it's first down.
But then why are they back here?
Because they moved it forward from that spot 15 and then move it back on the other penalty.
Shouldn't they be in the same spot? So, but it looks like they lost yards, is what I'm saying.
Yes, they did. So the result of the play essentially stands because of the two offsetting personal foul penalties.
Gotcha.
But they do get first down back. So it's 1st and 20 from their own 43. Kasuga. He's in trouble. Finds a way to get it out. Almost caught. Could not quite make the play. The pass was intended for number 5, Jaron Pula.
Yeah, this is becoming a first half of penalties now. You know, didn't think that penalties would have that much effect, but now they got another holding call. Yeah. Yeah, this is 1st and 30. Yeah, they're moving in the wrong direction. But
that is accurate. That we know.
As we said on the last drive, they can pick up yardage really quickly. So with the weapons they have, let's see how they handle this.
Handoff is to Kazon Villa, who gets a few yards on 1st and 30.
Good pickup there. 2nd and 21, 2nd and 22.
From the 41, 2nd and 22. Kasuga's going to hand it off again. This time Vaya has it. Isaiah Vaya. Another player on Timpview's roster listed as athlete, and that is certainly the case.
So when you have multiple athletes, how do you... Maybe that's just for our characterization, because like in an offense, it's like, where do you put these guys? They can be in the backfield. Debo Samuels, right?
Yeah.
And that's redefining the position. I think, honestly, there's a lot of guys out there. Just the whole Le'Veon Bell concept of what he's like. I'm a big part of the passing game just as much as I am the running game.
Kasuga on 3rd and 19. Plenty of time, taking a look. Comes back the other side. Catch is made by Pula, Keenan Pula, but he's well short of the first down. Gets down to the 46-yard line of Lone Peak, but that's 9 yards short of the first down marker. Kind of an interesting spot, though, Sly. Do you go for it here? I think they absolutely do.
You do. In a game like this, you see what your offense is made for. Can we do it? We're in the middle of the field. I mean, we just picked up 21 yards.
Lone Peak's going to take a timeout. I saw Coach Brockbank running up the sideline. Lone Peak wants to talk this over. Take away that advantage that Timpview had with their tempo.
So 5:11 left to go here in the first half. 21-14 Lone Peak leads. We'll have 4th and 9 when we come back.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
Welcome back to Lone Peak High School. 5:11 left to play second quarter. 21-14 Lone Peak leads Timpview. The Thunderbirds are on the Lone Peak 46 facing a 4th and 9, and they are going for it. Critical moment here in this game. Timpview trying to keep this drive alive. Trying to tie this ball game. Lone Peak, a stop would be huge. Lone Peak might be bringing some heat here. Now they start to back off. Keep an eye on that. Number 20 on the outside is cheating up a bit. They're gonna come with the heat. Kasuga over the middle. Caught! Kazon Phil, a first down. Move the chains.
Wow. That was a professional pitch and catch right there. Look at the tempo. Back up to the line of scrimmage. But the way that they completed that was great.
Via up the middle. It's about 4 or 5 yards before he's turned back. Huge play for the Thunderbirds, and nice play by Kasuga. That, you could argue that was Kasuga's best moment in this game. 4th and 9 to throw a ball like that in a crucial moment.
The pocket was barreling down on him. Great blitz pickup by the running back there. But Kasuga standing in that pocket and delivering the football right on the running to Puaz. That was perfect. You can't coach it better than that.
2nd down and 7 from the 25. Now 4.5 minutes to play in this first half. It's going to be Toa. Breaks a tackle. Doesn't break anymore. Oof. Full group of Lone Peak defenders in that effort, short of the first down by about 2 yards. So 3rd and a little over 2.
Honestly, the way that this offensive lineman could be moving the line of scrimmage, I would run the football again.
That's what they do. Toa right up the middle, untouched. Breaking tackles. Toa into the end zone for the touchdown. The Timpview Thunderbirds have a chance to tie this game.
This tempo, the way that this offensive linemen are opening gaps, and how quickly they hit the holes for the running back, the way they teach this running game, this is efficient. This is going back and forth. The game is tied. They were just down 14. This offense, oh my gosh. This is top tier, if not the best offense. The way they run this, Kasuga, the way he's handling this as a sophomore.
Yeah. Now you're seeing why he's top 100 in the country in the 2026 class.
Yeah, man, he is.
Rough start, too. He did not have a great start first quarter, 2 interceptions.
Yeah. But, like, the way he delivers the football, and he's got 2 more years to develop himself. He's going to be him, Devon Eka, class of 2026.
Crazy.
Right? They are going to be huge, huge prospects in the country here in the next year or 2.
Great run by Toa.
That's an amazing run. Amazing run. Hit the hole hard. Boom. 2nd level. 3rd level. Make a guy miss into the end zone.
Credit to the Timpview offensive line. That was a big gap.
I mean, how do you not know run's coming? And they open a gap like that.
Yeah.
He wasn't touched until he got to the 3rd level. The linebackers didn't hit him. Yep. Nobody hit him. That's really good stuff. And honestly, it's the tempo. The tempo messes you up. Even if you know what your play's doing, you don't have a chance to breathe. You're not resetting yourself and recentering as a defense, and you're caught off guard. This is a juggernaut of an offense. This offense is difficult. they can compete with a lot of college level teams, honestly, if I could be honest. The way that they run their offense is very, very effective.
The execution has been impressive. The mistakes have hurt them badly tonight.
Yes.
But they've made up for it. And we have ourselves quite a ball game here. We've got to bring it out now. Well, nope, it goes in the end zone. That's an automatic touchback. So Lone Peak will start this drive on their own 20-yard line.
He thinks he's Dante Hall, catches it with his hands.
That's a throwback name for you.
Oh, man.
Dante Hall. Those. I'm a Broncos fan. I remember Dante Hall. Trust me, I have nightmares about Dante Hall.
He definitely tortured you.
One of the great returners of all time.
Specialist. Just get him the football. Oh, my gosh. What he did to Ian Mobley and Al Wilson back in the day.
Yeah.
That was rough.
Let's talk about Lone Peak and Timpview. Give me nightmares.
Okay.
Jackson Blake in the backfield. He's got time, but his time runs out. He's going to just run out of bounds.
He lost. Lost the yard there.
And they're going to place it.
Lost 2
You're
yards.
right. Technically, that's a sack. Team sack.
Throw the ball away.
So tied up at 21, 3:44 to play. Lone Peak would like to respond here with a score of their own. But now face 2nd and 13. Technically, it's a loss of 3. Blake with trips to his left. He's looking that way. Looking, going. And nice throw into the seam. Up to the 25-yard line. They're going to give him the 26-yard line.
That's rough. I mean, he's throwing off of his back leg into traffic. He did not step into that throw. And that was traffic. That was a risky throw. He made it happen, though, making it 3rd and manageable. But he wasn't able to step into that throw to put that extra mustard that he needs on that throw. But he made that connection happen. Now it's 2nd and 4.
Trey Robinson with the catch. 3rd down and 4 from the 26. Blake looking right.
Great. That was nice.
Another quick hitter over the 30-yard line. That's going to move the chains. Hoffines with the catch. His first catch since that touchdown earlier in the game. And the Knights have moved the chains.
Yes, it's a hard route. It's right over the middle. It's very difficult for linebackers to capture that route. When it's such a quick hit, it's almost like a quick hot route dump that they do. But as I said, both of these quarterbacks take what the defense is giving you. If they're giving you that easy check down, that's how you move down the field.
Brooks Wild on the carry up the middle.
Bounces it.
With a little help. Bounces outside. Wild to the marker. What an effort by Brooks Wild. The second effort gets him to the chains and will move him for a 1st down.
Way to keep those legs churning. Great job. Great vision.
And the great play might be wiped out here.
During the play, block in the back, number 10 on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay, 1st down.
Which is, it's hard, those plays. They want you to be physical, but honestly, when you get in times, you got to go basketball and just do a box out.
Yeah.
You got to do a box out. That's how you avoid the block and the back calls. But, you know, sometimes those things are hard because you hit somebody in the shoulder and you have your helmet on the back side. They call that block in the back. So it's very tough. Now 1st and long.
1st and 16. Blake looking to his left. Catch is made, but doesn't go far. Wild could not hold on to it. So the pass is incomplete. He's 2nd down and 16. Clock stops with 2:24 left here in the 2nd quarter.
Michael Rivera State Farm, Shiny Shell, J&L Automotive, Weather Group Insurance, Velociraptor, East Mountain Outfitters, and Advanced Orthopedics.
And another stop and play. A lot of penalties in this game. Now Lone Peak having
number
their issues.
56 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
Back and forth, right? You see those detrimental penalties from Timpview. Now you're seeing penalties from Lone Peak. Just early in the season, so sometimes you got to say I understand, but these are things that's going to hurt you later in the season, especially if you're trying to compete for a region championship.
Makes it 2nd and 21 from the 21. And the score on the scoreboard's 21-21. Blake over the middle. That's caught. I'll make up for a lot of it. And give him a chance on 3rd down.
Great job. That's great throw.
Seth Haskett with great the catch.
Throw. A little wobbly coming out, but it gets there. Jackson Blake's going to want to put a little bit more arm onto these throws because you're going to need that in that 4th quarter.
3rd and 4 from the 38. Catch is made. That's a 1st down.
Out of bounds. Nice.
Trey Robinson. Well executed.
As we said, there's things. They're giving you things. Yep. Right? They're giving you the flats. They're giving you your checkdowns. Take what they give you. Don't try to force it in there. They're sagging off on those corners. Throw that out route. You got a 6'4" body frame. You can see that. Throw that in there.
1:42 to play in the 2nd quarter. Knights are driving, coming up on midfield. Blake. The catch is made. Robinson still running. Inside the 40, down to the 35-yard line. They're going to mark him at the 36.
That's tough running right there. Great job by Robinson and catching the ball first. The throw was a little late, and I think there was hesitation there. But catching the football and then turning it up and going and not being denied. Great 15-yard pickup right there.
Got out of bounds, stopping the clock with 1:34 left in the 2nd quarter. Wild in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff to Wild, and he's going nowhere. Timpview bottles him up right at the line of scrimmage.
It's interesting how they're going to attack this last minute because they have no timeouts. They burned a lot of timeouts in this 1st half. So they got a minute and 10 seconds here. Let's see how they manage this. 35 yards to go. Lifetime for Tom Brady.
Based on the way these offenses have been, plenty of time for Lone Peak as well.
All right.
Blake gets out of the pocket.
Holding.
He's going to slide down, but this is probably coming back.
Yeah, that left guard got beat. Tackled the guy to the ground. Now it's going to be 2nd and 18.
Penalty. 5-6, Brett.
Both teams have been hammered by penalties in this 1st half. It's definitely been a story here in this game.
You know, looking at that Timpview game last week, they had a good number of penalties as well. So, I mean, probably something they're comfortable with right now. But they got to eliminate those if they want to make a run at the championships.
Taking a shot. Nobody's there. He's just throwing it away. That will stop the clock with 37 seconds left. 2nd quarter.
Let's spread everybody out and do a draw play right here. That way you run the clock out and take this to halftime. Unless you want to punt it and have Timpview rough you.
Yeah, I think the way things have gone on special teams for Timpview, you might want to take that chance if you're Lone Peak.
Yeah, spread them out and
I'm kidding.
Draw play.
Blake takes a shot over the middle. It's caught. He's right at the mark. Ooh, nice stop there by Timpview to keep him short. But you know what? They're right there. They're a yard or two short. They're in a position to go for it with 29 seconds left.
I just don't understand.
No reason not to.
How is the middle of the field so open for everybody?
Has been the entire game. Timpview has really given up a lot in that area of the field. There's no doubt about it. And Jackson Blake and company have taken advantage. Here they go. 4th down and short.
That running back runs an H route right here.
About 3 yards.
Yeah, but if he runs it again, it's wide open. There's nobody in the middle of the field.
Blake looking there.
That's PI.
Oh,
that's PI.
That's an easy call.
He hit him way early. But now it's 25 seconds. You're going to be at the 12-yard line.
Again, penalties playing a huge role in this first half, both ways.
You're going to be inside the 15-yard line here with 25 seconds left. You would say those are good odds, but you watched the Utah-Florida game last year, you'd be like, oh my gosh. It's the exact scenario. Inside 25 seconds left, everybody's calm and collected.
Pass interference against the defense.
But the middle of the field is
to the
wide
goal.
open.
It'll be a first down.
Big penalty here. Lone Peak now from the 14-yard line, 1st and 10. Plenty of time, 25 seconds. Another stop and play. Do we have a timeout? Timeout called by Timpview. We'll keep it right here with 24 seconds left. Tie ball game right now, but Lone Peak is in the red zone. 1st and 10 at the Timpview 14-yard line. A lot of options here, plenty of time, Sly.
Yeah, these penalties are they're killing Timpview on multiple things. Good thing Timpview's offense is so dynamic; they've been able to make it up. But one, Lone Peak gets the ball coming out of the half.
Yep.
So if they can get a score here, that is huge. You get score and possession in the next quarter without Timpview's offense taking another snap. That is what you want. And so big advantage, big opportunity here for Lone Peak, because that's huge momentum shifts in this game to get back-to-back possessions, in this football game. But I just don't, they're spreading them out, and that middle of the field is just wide open. They got to protect that middle of the field.
Jackson Blake takes the snap, looking left, throwing into the end zone. Intercepted. No flags. And Timpview.
That pass is intercepted.
Huge play for the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, he's not reading the right guys. He's not reading the right guys there. Their safeties were inside. So when you're looking at the corner route, you know what route you're running. So you need to look at who's in the corner. The cornerback is. And the cornerback, which they've been playing soft all game. This corners have been playing soft all game, sagging off, eyes on the QB the whole time, threw it right to him. Jackson Blake never saw him.
Nella Soni to Ua with the interception, and at the very least probably saves him from giving up 3 points, and it definitely saves him from the 6 or 7. Huge play to end this half. You figure Timpview's going to be happy with that and take this into the locker room, tied at 21. Let's see what Kasuga and company do here. They're just going to run it, and that should kill the rest of this clock. Wow, what a turn of events there, and it's pretty silent here.
As we said, man, in that Florida-Utah game, same situation, right? You're 25 seconds inside the 15-yard line. Everybody's cool, collected. You just make a bad read, right? And there, honestly, that was not a good throw. If you throw the corner out, you got to throw it at the corner pylon. It's the whole reason why they call it a corner route. Throw it at that corner pylon. That was lofted and inside. Great play by that cornerback, having his eyes on the quarterback. He just made a play.
A lot of twists and turns in the first half of this ball game, but at the end, we're all even, 21 apiece. Cannot wait for the second half, Sly. It's going to be wild.
Yeah, both of these teams, man, it's 0-0. Lone Peak gets the ball to start. Who's going to score more points?
My favorite part of the show, Sly, when we give away some money. Mary Lou's Cook has a big Giants check to give away down in the end zone.
Thank you, Jeremiah. Now, KSL Sports is streaming tonight's game on the KSL Sports app. the KSL Plus app and KSLSports.com. As a part of the broadcast, Utah Community Credit Union is proud to present a scholarship to 2 amazing students tonight from each school that KSL is visiting this year. So we have 2 scholarships to present this week. Now, the first one is for Philip Mani of Timpview High School. So he's originally from Uganda, a country in East Africa. He has been in the U.S. for 5 years now, and he's an excellent student. Now, he's taking advantage of college courses at Timpview, and his teachers say that from being a gifted dancer, he's a hardworking, kind, and talented student. Now, Philip, I'm the daughter of immigrants, so I think that part of your story is so interesting. How do you hope that what you have accomplished serves as inspiration to other people in your generation?
I would like to thank Cinda, first of all, for giving me this opportunity. And what I would recommend for other immigrants to do is pay attention in class and actually focus and try to do good in school, and then take part in sports and be open-minded for all the opportunities that are open for you.
Philip, that is great advice, and I think that applies to anyone, regardless of whether they're an immigrant or not. Congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome, Philip. Now, moving over here to Isabella. Isabella Canigan. Now, she's a fantastic student with a stellar GPA that includes AP-level courses. Now, she is on the Cedar Hills City Council and works diligently to serve her community through food drives and fundraising efforts, in addition to creating holiday-themed events for children. Now, Cedar Hills City Council, I find that to be so intriguing and so impressive. How do you hope to inspire people in your generation to get involved with service through what you've done?
Well, once you see someone do something you like, you just see it, and happy people attract happy people. So it's kind of through the butterfly effect. I hope that people will be inspired, and then serve the community, and we can just be a happier place.
Amazing. Isabella, I love that. Happy people just attract happy people. That's fantastic. All right. Well, congratulations to both Philip and Isabella, and thanks to Utah Community Credit Union for their support of local high school athletes. UCCU, love where you bank. Back to you guys.
Mariluz, thank you. Congratulations to both students. That's awesome and well-deserved. 21 all, Sly. Some real quick thoughts before we go into halftime. It's just been a wild, crazy game. But in the end, we're all even. So here we go. Second half should be interesting.
Yeah, turnovers and penalties for me. Both of these teams have had way too many in the first half. But to no resolve, it's been equal, right? Yeah. As you can see the score. Equal turnovers, equal penalties by both teams. And it's 0-0 coming out of halftime. So it's going to be about which team can eliminate the penalties, which defense can come up and stop the opposing offense to end this football game. It's going to be an exciting finish when it's all said and done.
21 all. Lone Peak and Timpview tied at the half. We'll be back in 10 minutes with second half action. You're watching Game Night Live on the KSL Sports app, KSL Plus app, and KSLSports.com.
If you want to avoid your AC breaking down this summer, the best thing you can do is stay on top of your AC's annual maintenance. But if you do find yourself with an air conditioner blowing hot air, Any Hour Services technicians service all brands, and they can usually get to you pretty quick. Call Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhour.com. Whether you need maintenance, repair, or replacement, the technicians at Any Hour Services can help you keep your home comfortable all summer long. Call Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhour.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
Feels good. High school football back on our weekend calendar, and week 1 now in the books.
Yeah, there's only one way to really sum it all up, the first week of high school football season. That is with this, the Game Night Live highlight reel.
Took it to my stomach, hurt this month, I done lost 3 friends. Early morning brainstorming, normally I can't sleep in. Sometimes I just wanna restart it, but it all depends. If I'ma be that same young hungry from West End. Broke my heart, it falls in the crazy part, ain't have no pen. Maybach interior came with sheepskin. Still remember when I just had 3 bands. Now I'm the one everyone call on, cause I got deep pants. Bro told me the way to beat the game is on the defense. And never face my name, so they might call me, but they gon' respect it. And I feel like you better off trying to call, I might not get the message. She just tried to run off with my heart, but I blocked off the exit. Yeah.
U Conference football registration is open for the 2023 fall tackle football season. This year, we are proud to announce the addition of a girls-only division to play alongside our boys. Team scheduling lines you up against comparable competition, making every snap a valuable life lesson. UC football is safe and fun. Learn the game with confidence. The competition will be fierce and the camaraderie will be second to none. Sign up today at ucfootball.org. That's ucfootball.org.
Here are the top 5 play performances from last week. Brought to you by Heinemann and Associates. Roy's Drew Gardner finds Isaiah Morris. Watch this. Split the defenders. We're not done yet. Gets out of the tackle. Finds the end zone. You put in that much work, you deserve 6. Isaiah Morris.
Beautiful throw over the middle of the field. It's caught and still on his feet, spinning out of it, going to the right across the 10, and in for the touchdown in spectacular fashion is Isaiah Morris. Wow!
The eyes jet new quarterback, same result. High-powered offense. Jace John makes the catch, slips a tackle, and then he'll waltz in the end zone. Pioneers got to win their first game in 6-8.
New's gonna run through it, wide open down the middle. The catch is made. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown.
How about Alpha's Matt McKay? Takes a hit, gets dragged out, and still throws an absolute dime to Abe Jager. Did one more. Matt. Oh, nice little pump fake. Rolls left. Finds his man in the corner in the end zone. That's Jackson Tawala. One of his 2 touchdown catches. Let's get to some angry runs. Roy's Daquan Snyder. Watch him put a foot in the ground. Break some defenders' ankles. Now put on some speed, young man. Doing it like KBT Etowatu used to do on that field when it was natural turf. Beautiful run from Daquan Snyder.
Gardner gets it away. Looks, they try to set up the screen. Snyder blockers in front of him. Makes him multiple men miss. Snyder, green grass in front of him. Multiple desperate cuts. Snyder crosses the 50, crosses the 40, finally chased out of ground. Snyder flips the field for the Royals.
Now about American Forks, Jacob Eardley. It's early in the season to be so angry. Eardley finishes with some power as he dives in the end zone.
Wow! You talk about an angry run from Eardley there. Great job to fight through the initial contact, get the first down, and keep grinding all the way into the end zone. And that was a caveman thundering for a score.
I know we're trying these angry runs. This was a little more poetic, a little more jazz. Look at Isaac Wilson. The sweet feet finds a way to the pylon for 6. Get to the air. Touchdown catches. How about Maple Mountain's Easton Merrill? Taking in this throw from Banks Jackson. Double last names means double the points. Beautiful catch from Easton Merrill.
Jackson out shotgun, steps back, looking to his left the whole way. Long, deep ball, but it's double coverage. But coming down with it anyway is Easton Merrill. Getting the touchdown for Maple Mountain, first touchdown of the year.
Fremont Slade Parker Oh, to Jace Hadley. Of course there's a Hadley in Fremont making big plays. Now let's go down south of Pineview. Matt Costa from Adam Moore. Costa able to pull this one in.
Takes the snap. He's going to throw Costa's the man out there. And it looks like it's juggled and caught! Caught in the end zone!
First game of the year, brought a couple of touchdown passes. Jackson Blake looked really good. Trey Robinson. Oh, man. This kid loves contested catches.
Looking left, gonna throw left, got a man there, go up, make the catch! Robinson pulls it in! Touchdown! Trey Robinson!
Top guy of the night. How about Frischneck's impossible game? Greg Sterner, I'm sure he nearly popped his lid. Fired up all over the middle. Watch it. Multiple defenders. Doesn't matter. You have 3 white jerseys there. It only matters because there's 1 gray jersey.
And who do you usually just throw it up and go jump ball?
I'd probably look at Reggie Frischneck out here on this close side to the field. Starkweather drops to pass, throws it in the middle. It is to Reggie Frischneck. Triple coverage!
And
he comes down with it in the end zone. Touchdown, Templars. What a grab by Reggie Frischneck.
Now late in the game, what's 1 touchdown catch impresses? You got to have 2. Keep throwing, stay alive for your quarterback. Look at this little Jardy Harleen action. Throw back over the middle. If there's 2 guys there, it means there's no one there. If Frischneck's there, our top performer of the week.
So Starkweather, he's got some time now. That
breaks a huge tackle.
He's rolling to the right. Needs to just throw it away. If nothing's there, he's going to throw it back across his body.
Oh my gosh!
It goes up and gets it.
Reggie
Another
Frischneck.
touchdown for Reggie Frischneck. 3rd of the day.
And I'm yelling, don't throw that. And Reggie goes up and makes the catch
in the end zone
for the touchdown. But
Any plays that we missed, hit us up at KSL Sports Rewind or at highschoolrewind@gmail.com.
Salt Lake Running Company is inspiring our community to move with purpose, embrace adventure, and consciously connect to their bodies. Exercise is essential now more than ever. Take control of the chaos and make time for you. From the gym to the trail, SLRC can help you find the focus to define your finish line. Visit any of our locations along the Wasatch Front or shop online at slrc.com.
We're just 1 week into the season, and already we've got more highlights than we can handle.
Yeah, just about. We did our best, though, to pick out the top 5, and here they are. It's the Game Night 5.
Let's start with this. From Mountain Ridge, Riker Renteria takes the pitch, finds Kai Meza in the back of the end zone. The reverse pass for the touchdown.
Lone Peak opened the season on Thursday night with some big play offense. How about Jackson Blake? Right on the fingertips of Jay-Sean Mayberry for the 77-yard touchdown.
Let's keep it with Lone Peak. And deservedly so. Number 3, Lone Peak's Trey Robinson going way up high. Mosses the defender for a Lone Peak touchdown.
What a grab. All right, number 2, Beavers' Andrew Hollingshead. We saw this just moments ago. He gets the interception, but the best part's on the return. There was absolutely no stopping him. I mean, he just plows over a guy with the spin move, and you can't arm tackle a guy that big. He gets into the end zone for the pick 6.
Number 1, Fremont's defense with the tip drill. Cameron Wolf coming down with it. Not enough for the win, but it is enough for the number 1 play of the week.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it
Moving mountains takes more than muscle. It takes commitment through the comfortable, the uncomfortable, the starts, the stops, the sunny days, the stormy days. Here at Salt Lake Running Company, rain or shine, we've got you. We are here to help you keep moving forward. Locally owned, locally operated since 1995. SLRC offers free custom shoe fittings, rewards, training groups, races, free events, seminars, and clinics. Visit us in store or online today at slrc.com.
If you want to avoid your AC breaking down this summer, the best thing you can do is stay on top of your AC's annual maintenance. But if you do find yourself with an air conditioner blowing hot air, Any Hour Services technicians service all brands, and they can usually get to you pretty quick. Call Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhour.com. Whether you need maintenance, repair, or replacement, the technicians at Any Hour Services can help you keep your home comfortable all summer long. Call Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhour.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
Welcome back to Lone Peak High School. We are about to begin the second half, all tied up at 21. A wild and crazy first half has set up what could be a special second half. Here we go. The second half is underway. There will be a return. The Knights get a shot here. And at the end, they end up a little short of the 20-yard line. Matthias Nawahine on the return. So Lone Peak will get the ball to start this second half.
It's always so hard to judge when to take the ball out and when not to, right? Sometimes, I feel it. It feels good. I got a good angle. We got a good right return. Dang, I should have let it go in the end zone. Let's see. I mean, honestly, this half is going to be about who doesn't commit the turnovers, who doesn't commit as many penalties.
No question. If one of these teams can clean things up dramatically, that may be the difference here in the second half. Blake taking a shot to the right side. It's caught. Logan Hoffines has a first down.
13-yard pickup. Great back shoulder.
Oh, we got flags.
Oh, is there extracurriculars?
Uh-oh. Coaches aren't happy. You did something.
I have no idea what that is. You throw
something
the ball
after the play.
You throw the ball.
I think so.
Sportsmanlike conduct.
They're discussing it now.
He wasn't even the guy who caught the ball. Let's see here.
Sorry, after the play, personal foul number 7.
Oh, was it?
We have 15 yards, so we'll reset half the distance. It'll be 1st and 10.
Oh, so he got the first down, so it was an after the play, so he does get the result of the play, which was a first down, but 15 yards back.
We started off this half talking about this slide. The team that would clean things up has an advantage right out of the gate. A big mistake.
You got to think that Brock Bank was talking to his team about that at halftime, and then the very first play, you do a penalty that sets you back. Can't kill yourself.
Well, 1st and 10 now from the 14. Blake goes the same direction. It's out of bounds, and there's flags there, so we got a penalty the other way.
That's hard because that was an uncatchable ball. That ball was high and outside.
And that's the argument that young man's making right there. It's number 20. That's Grady Gregory, who is going to take the penalty there.
First down.
Like you, his argument was that was not even a catchable ball. The officiating crew disagrees, and Lone Peak gets their yards back.
Yeah, it's like nothing ever happened. You got to clean up these penalties. One of these teams got to do it. They're taking each other's. That's why the score was 21-21, essentially 0-0. Both of these teams are harming themselves with all these penalties.
Brooks Wild, room to run. Ends up with about 6 or 7 yards. He was 1 or 2 missed tackles away from taking that much further.
So I guess if they're not going to clean up the penalties, it's got to be who's going to have the more detrimental penalties.
I guess.
But both of these offenses are extremely efficient. You know, they're running the ball well, they're throwing the ball well.
Quick shot. Robinson with the catch.
Great throw right there.
That's a first down.
This kid has a really nice arm. You don't really see him even really step into his throws. You know, especially those tight windows. You normally see quarterbacks throw into it, but I mean, he's really just flinging that thing. And so that's how you know he has a really nice arm. Once he learns to step into those throws, he's going to make those downtown passes that are catching people.
They marked him just short, so it's 3rd and 1. Thought he had enough. He did not. Blake taking a shot. Incomplete on 3rd and 1.
For a corner route on 3rd and 1?
Yeah, the coaches are upset on the sideline. Yeah, Blake's getting an earful here. I can see from the sideline. That's okay. On to the next, 4th and 1. What do you do, Sly?
Honestly, I think that play that they ran, you got to punt it.
Yeah, for
sure.
But
that play that they ran, it looks like it came in and they thought they had a first down.
Yeah.
That's a first down call of what they did. So there's a miscommunication right there of switching the play.
That makes sense.
With what happened. But yeah, that just looked like they were doing that on first down.
Some confusion here. Ooh,
oh, wow.
That's no flags.
Well, that was the off receiver.
So he was allowed to do that, but he was not in position. And Timpview with a really nice return here.
Yeah.
Into Lone Peak territory.
That's the problem when you put your gunner in like that.
Yeah, that's where that cost them, is not having the right personnel in the right place.
So that's probably a halftime adjustment that they made is let's go max protection on the punt so you don't get close. I know they've had a couple roughing the passers, but Coach Brockbrink is probably like, it's only a matter of time before, they actually block it. So let's go max protection. We motion our gunner in and doing that. But if that's the case, this punter needs to punt the ball close to the sidelines and out of bounds so there's no return, because you're losing one of your potential max cover guys.
Not the start Lone Peak wants to the second half. Now Timpview is in Lone Peak territory from the 45. 1st and 10. Kasuga. Quick throw out in the flat. Kazon Villa. Dancing around defenders, breaking tackles.
That was a good strip. Good attempt at the strip right there. But honestly, now looking at this, with the good punt return by Timpview, Lone Peak should have went for it on 4th down.
Yeah.
Right? So you're darned if you do, you're darned if you don't.
During the play, right side block, number 58 here. 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
I feel like we're definitely in double-digit penalties. I feel like we're approaching 20. Both teams really, really struggling in that department in this game. A lot of miscues.
As we said, it's going to be
great game. Don't get me wrong, this is fun, but both teams have really put themselves in tough spots because of penalties and miscues.
Really unfortunate penalties. That was a great run right there by Kazon Villa, and he's not able to get those yards because of the penalty.
It's 1st and 25 now. Now they're on the other side of the field. Their own 40. Pula with the catch. He's out of bounds at the 45.
Great job. That was a great defensive play right there. Great angles. Great job by the inside defender as well of forcing the issue. And but even better job by that corner. That's an open field tackle. You got to understand, you have 13 defenders out there. 12. You got 12 defenders out there. You got your 11 defense, but you got the sideline as well. So he really closed that receiver in between the sideline and him. Made the receiver go out of bounds. Great job.
2 backs with Kasuga. Quick hit to Pula again. Ooh, the ball's on the ground. He didn't catch it. It's an incomplete pass.
Kasuga's pass falls incomplete.
So it'll be 3rd and 21.
Yeah. This is going to be If I had my money on what this play was going to be, I'd run a screen pass right here. But
Kasuga's going to roll right. Over the middle. Is that intercepted? It is.
Yes.
The third interception of the game for Kasuga. And again, number 1 comes up with the interception. Jaden Mayberry with the second pick of the game. Mayberry is having himself a night. And just like that, the Knights have momentum on their side. Back and forth.
Turnovers, penalties, turnovers, penalties.
It is week 2, I guess.
But, like, come on. These are top-tier programs that are making these mistakes.
These are uncharacteristic errors, miscues.
But to their defense, both teams are making them.
Yeah.
And so that's where you're kind of lucking out here. But it's going to be like which team doesn't make it in the end.
We have a new quarterback out there. That's Isaac Staley.
That's not good.
Tried to run it, and nothing gained there, and Staley comes back off.
That was a 3-yard loss.
Trying to get Staley involved in the game plan.
It's
now Jackson Blake back in.
What Utah's going to have to do with Nate Johnson, right?
Yeah.
You know, you're going to have his little spells, little packages that he's in. QB run game.
Back to their normal backfield. Wild in there with Blake. Looking left. We've got a flag again.
Illegal formation.
Blake avoids the sack and now runs.
Get out of bounds.
Gets out of bounds. And he's taken out. And there's another flag. My goodness.
That ref had 2 flags. He had one in his pocket, one on his belt. He threw the
You always have to have a backup.
He had illegal formation, and now you got a horse collar on the sideline.
Wow.
These penalties. I think every ref has two flags on their person at each time on this football field because there's so many penalties are going out of here.
They need him in this game. Here's another look at this mess.
Illegal formation. The receiver wasn't on the line of scrimmage, and then here you get a horse collar.
Yeah, you can't do that to the quarterback that far out of
No,
bounds.
you just stay away from the QB, just like in practice.
We have 2 fouls on the play. Illegal formation here.
Illegal shift.
On the offense. So foul, horse collar on the defense. Those penalties offset. We replay the down.
So let's do second down. Coaches are upset.
It's crazy when penalties offset because it's like one was more egregious than the other. One's a 5-yard penalty, one's a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah.
So it's like, why do they offset? That's probably what Coach Brock Fink is arguing there.
Play clock's down to 5, so Lone Peak's trying to hurry here. Down to 2. They get it off. Blake over the middle, quick hitter. That's caught. Or is it?
Yes.
They're giving it to him. Jashawn Mayberry with another catch. Had a touchdown earlier tonight. Now that's a catch.
Jaden and Jashawn are making some plays here in this game.
Mayberry's coming up big in this one for Lone Peak. That's going to move the Knights past midfield. 3rd down and 2 from the 46.
Two by 2 here.
Blake went to Mayberry again.
Another penalty.
And it doesn't matter because we're going to have some kind of call here that impacts the play.
Almost like a sideline warning because I'm just like, but it couldn't be. We got to go through the whole rule book of penalties of what could be called and what was called in this game. I think they're getting everything.
I think everything that's possible has been called tonight.
We're to go back.
3rd quarter just started.
Illegal formation here. 5 men in the backfield.
See, these receivers are
We'll go 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
Line of scrimmage. You know, there's got to be 7 people on the line of scrimmage, and your receivers, your X and Z receivers, they're moving when the ball is being snapped. They can't do that.
So that makes it 3rd and 7 from their own 49-yard line. Rushes on. Blake gets rid of it. It is caught right at the marker. It's close.
Short. He came back too.
Mayberry with the catch. Where are they going to place it?
He's a yard short. He's inches short. Or are they going to give it to him? That's a good spot.
It is definitely a Lone Peak spot. Favorable to the Knights, but it is still.
You're going to measure? Oh, no, they gave it to him. They're not even going to bring out the sticks. All right.
Waiting for an official signal here.
I say that was a favorable spot.
There's some discussion going on. There they go. Okay.
Timpview is not happy about this.
Oh, no. Coach Atawaya over there is letting the official know it. They thought they had a stop there. Nice play by Mayberry.
Get a whole new set of downs.
Blake with a nice toss that moves the chains. 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Blake going down the middle deep. Had his man beat, but could not get there. They were going for Robinson.
That's a great call.
Trey Robinson tried to get there, but it was just a little too long. This will be 2nd and 10.
Depending on that play.
Let's see here, second down and 10. See, there's a lot more passing the ball. They're going away from the game plan. Now there's running the ball here.
Wild's going to take it right up the middle.
This
10-yard gain.
This is what they need to do. You got to mix it. You got to have a good mix of run and pass. You can't throw the ball the whole time. Brooks Wild has run the ball extremely well in this game. He's got a good yard per carry average here in this game. You got to keep giving him the ball because it's going to open up the pass. Catchers, pass.
Tani Makasini with the tackle. Junior defensive back. Otherwise, Wild might have taken that to the house. Coming up on 7 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. Blake looking left. Takes a shot there. Catch is made. Out of bounds.
Great throw.
Nice throw.
Great throw. As a defender, you got to just read that receiver's eyes and put your hand in the breadbasket. But look at this throw by Jackson here. On the money. Great outside shoulder. Great catch as well. That was beautifully orchestrated. They're moving the ball extremely well. Run, pass.
Seth Hackett moves the chains.
Now this is 1st and goal from
Seth Haskett, sorry.
9.5-yard line. So hard.
Things tighten up here. Now they're in the red zone. 1st and goal from the 9. Blake. Handoff. Wild.
Great job.
Makes a cut into the end zone. Touchdown, Lone Peak.
Great job. Great job.
Brooks Wild for 6.
Way to mix up the run and pass. As we said, Brooks Wild has been running the ball very well in this game. You can't go away from that. And that's what they did on this drive. And lo and behold, that's how they punch it into the end zone. Great job by Brooks Wild. Great vision. Great cuts. Great blocking up front as well. So good job to that offensive line. Lone Peak up in front again.
After a rough start to that drive, overcome some penalties, and they march down the field and score. They take the lead. The extra point is good. The Lone Peak Knights, 28-21. Here's another look at the Wild touchdown.
What's that, Chris Berman? Whoop.
Yep.
Whoop.
That qualifies.
Yes. Whoop. Great job by Brooks Wild right there. This is good. Oh, that was a little close.
Might have got away with something there. That's all right.
Hey, I've seen enough.
It's all done now.
Enough yellow laundry out in the field.
we've had enough penalties. We've reached the quota here.
Ready to punch it in the end zone.
6:38, 3rd quarter. 28-21 Lone Peak.
But now this offense has been essentially, they've had a huge break.
Yeah.
They've almost, what time is it now? 9? Honestly, they haven't been on the field. I mean, they did the one play at the end of the half, but other than that, they haven't been on the field for almost an hour.
Yeah.
So let's see if they can not rust off a little bit, or they still got the momentum that they had in that first half.
Feels like the longest drive of the game so far for Lone Peak. Took almost half the quarter. Nice turn on the kickoff return out to the 28-yard line. That's where Timpview will start this next possession. Isa Naliai with the return.
He brings it out to the 23-yard line. He's brought down by Dallas Anderson.
So Kasuga and company come back out. And this offense, when it hasn't been dealing with penalties and interceptions, they have done really well. But that's been an issue. The interceptions have been a problem. As we saw, Timpview had that very brief possession this half where Kasuga was intercepted by Mayberry.
Kasuga throws the ball with such ease.
Yep.
What is he, 16, 17 years old?
He's a sophomore. I don't know his birth date, but he is, by class, he is a sophomore. And he started as a freshman last year.
Right.
At Timpview, and he was terrific.
Yeah, the throws he's making, high school, the hash marks are a little wider. So throwing to the opposite side of the field is actually harder than in college and in the pros because he starts so much further away. And the way he just whips the ball, extremely well.
Run play this time.
See, great mix of run and pass. Great job.
True Toa's had a lot of work tonight for Timpview, including a nice touchdown run.
He looks great
in the first half.
Picking up exactly where he left off last year. True Toa looks great.
2nd down and 5. They are at the 39-yard line. Handoff. Toa just short, 1 yard short. Set up a 3rd and short. They'll take that. That tempo continues. Now they're going to pause for a little bit, change things up. Almost got Lone Peak to jump off sides. Now they go at the 5-minute mark, and Kasuga's going to keep and slide. He's short. I don't think he knew where the marker was.
No, he didn't. He just thought he was there.
He just lost almost a full yard.
So, JJ, I've been wondering why it's been so cold in this booth.
Yeah.
And I'm just finding out the AC is blowing right on us.
We have AC here in the luxurious
I'm like, am I
Lone Peak press box, brand new. Thank you to Lone Peak for their hospitality.
Yes.
We are not used to air conditioning in August.
No, we're not.
We very much appreciate it. Even on it's actually a much cooler night than we probably expected with the weather being the way it was. Kasuga fights his way through and somehow gets there to pick up the 1st down on 4th and 1. So that will move the chains. Timpview goes for it on 4th down, and they convert.
That's their 2nd 1st down pickup on that QB keep. It's a good job. Way to fight for those extra yards, but you got a good offensive line like this. You follow them.
Here they go, 1st and 10.
RPO.
Quick toss outside. Not much there.
Great job.
Pula with the catch.
No gain on the play, 2nd down and 10 for the Thunderbirds.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 45-yard line. Kasuga with 3 receivers who's left, but he's going to look right and finds a receiver. Makes the catch. That's Jaron Pula. The odds are good if he's throwing a pass, and Pula's going to catch it, because there's 2 Pulas out there. So Jaron getting that catch. 3rd down and 2. Kasuga finds a receiver. Nice route. Open field running. Kazon Villa.
Great route. Oh my gosh, he made the defender fall. Oh, that was a good route. Oh man. He made the defender fall, came wide open again over the middle. These middles are extremely open on both sides of the.
They keep that tempo. Kasuga, screen pass. True Toa. Nice run. He's got enough, or it's close to. I think they're going to give it to him. That is a first down. True Toya.
So crazy how basic that play was, right? He really didn't have any lead blockers or anything. He just dumped that ball right off and came wide open.
True Toa having himself a night. Kasuga looking left, now going right. Throws down the middle, caught, touchdown, Timpview. Tay Nakua.
This offense, sitting or not, is a juggernaut. The way they just move down the field with ease. As you said, they got weapons all over the place, from the deep running back to the receiver to an amazing QB. This Timpview offense, man, I'm trying to think about what defense in the whole state can stop them. They are, oh man, this is beautiful to watch.
We're seeing why they're the favorites to win the 5A state championship this year. They were one play away last year. Fell short against Lehigh. Here they are with a lot of players back from that team. And the mission is clear. They want to win a state championship. Here's another look at the Kasuga to Nakua touchdown.
Look how he just throws that ball.
Easy. That was too easy.
Look at this. Sits up in the pocket.
Wide open.
Second window. Beautiful. Yeah, great job. As you said, that first receiver, what it does is it takes that inside defender, whether that's the post safety or that middle linebacker, and then you hit that second window, which is that post route. And that comes wide open every single time. Great job.
The extra point is good. We are tied again with 2:47 to go here in the third quarter. Great ball game. Yes, we've had a lot of penalties. There's been some miscues, but we've got a very competitive ball game. This is exactly what we thought we'd get here tonight on Game Night Live. Two of the best programs in the state. Exchanging punches. This is going to be a 15-round fight.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is coming down to the end for sure. The way this is going, you know, the defenses aren't playing bad. These penalties just keep hurting everybody. But this is going to come down to the end for sure. This is, you know, out of region rivalry. This is going at it for sure.
No return there into the end zone, so Lone Peak will start this drive on their own 20-yard line. This could come down to who has the ball last.
Yes. Yes.
It's just really impressive that Timpview, despite the interceptions, is right there with a chance to win this ball game on the road against a really good Lone Peak team. And on the other side, Lone Peak's been very solid. They've had their miscues and their flags as well. Coach Brockbank's going to have a lot of teaching moments this week, and those teaching moments are valuable, but this has been a great football game, and it's going to get even better here with 2:47 left to play third quarter. Blake is going to run up the middle, keep it, and avoids the sack. Gets about a yard before he's taken down.
It's good. Don't force the ball. You know, take what they're giving you. If there was a little lane, take it. Any positive yards in that situation, you got about 2.5 yards there. That's good. Now it's a control down, about 2nd and 7, 2nd and 8. You can see what you can do. You can run screen pass here. You can run the football. You know, Brooks Wild is good. You know, if he's getting 4 yards of carry, you get 4 yards here, making it 3rd and 3. That's what you want.
Pakahunga had the tackle. They're going to give him 2 yards, 2nd and 8. Blake's looking to his right and throws. Nobody's there. Yeah, Mayberry went short route, and Blake thought he was going to take a stop and go. It didn't work out that way. So incomplete pass, 3rd and 8.
Let's see what they come up here. Now it's 3rd and long. So now you got to spread them out. You got to see what you can get. This is when that Travis Kelsey tight end screen comes in, because if the middle's been wide open and they've been coming with heat, you take advantage of an aggressive defense.
Big play here, 3rd and 8 from the 22.
They're in double barrel.
Timpview looks like they're bringing the heat. Now they back off. Rushes on.
Yep, they had a screen on. Great call by Timpview at being up like you're gonna pressure and then dropping out. Great call by Timpview to counteract the screen play right there.
Blake essentially has to throw it away, and it's 4th and 8. So the Knights will punt. Michael Peterson's back. Lone Peak a man short in their punt formation. Here we go. Can they get it off? Just barely. There was 2 seconds left on the play clock. Nice high punt. It's going to take a Lone Peak bounce again. It is fielded. And he's dropped. Does get some positive yardage there. That was Tani Mocassini with the return.
All these athletes on this team, man, the way they can pick up the ball in those curious situations where it's just like, oh man, the ball's rolling, that could go anywhere, but they're just so confident they can pick it up and run. Great job by Mocassini at picking up positive yards on that. And here again, here with this Timpview offense, as we said, they are hard to stop. And so the only way, honestly, to keep up with them is to be in a shootout. Now your defense stepped up, got a 3-and-out from Lone Peak. You give your offense the ball back.
Motion. Hand off to Kazon Villa. Villa tries to get around the edge, doesn't get too much before he ends up out of bounds. The clock will still run. He stayed inbounds. This forward progress. So we're under 90 seconds left here, third quarter. Second down and about 8 yards to go. Timpview continues that tempo. Kasuga, he's going to run it himself. Up the middle, he's got room to run. And he slides down past the first down marker. That's going to move the chains. And Timpview is into Lone Peak territory. Here they come again.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they are just, the way that they move, the way they execute their plays, honestly, you could probably call anything. But execution is the name of the game. Now they're in empty. What is Lone Peak going to do? Bring pressure?
They did there. Kasuga tries to beat him one-on-one, and he's short. Wasn't there. Good coverage. Pula, the intended receiver, and was not there.
Yeah, I mean, ball's got to come out quick. You see empty, you feel pressure on there. Honestly, Kasuga's got to be like, I got to check 4 verts. Go verts right here. Somebody's going to come open.
CJ Rubel had coverage on that play. Second down and 10. Kasuga's got time. And the catch is made along the sideline. He doesn't get far. Tay Nakua with another catch as Nakua's getting more involved here. Now we got a flag.
Surprising.
Oh, boy. What did they do this time?
We got to total up these flags and see what it is, because this is crazy. This is in the middle of the field, too, where it was thrown.
During the play, ineligible player downfield, number 71. 5-yard penalty. Replay,
Literally
second down.
We're getting all the penalties, illegal shifts, illegal formations, holdings, horse collars, pass interference.
5-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
We haven't got offensive pass interference yet, so I guess that's one. But this is crazy. Let's see what we got here. Trips bunch to the left.
Kasuga gets rid of it.
Upfield.
Catch is made. He's fighting for more yards. Pretty good gain. That's Jaron Pula with the catch. And some yards after catch. Makes up for some of that penalty yardage. And now they got a manageable 3rd and 6 as we're coming to the end of the third quarter. This should be the last play of the quarter. But we will see as fast as Timpview runs their tempo. I could be very wrong. Here we go. Kasuga with pressure coming. Gets rid of it. It's caught. Vaya with the catch. Down the sideline, out of bounds, inside the 30. And yes, there will be another play in the third quarter.
Oh, man.
Silly me. What was I thinking?
Look how Kasuga goes through his progressions there and ends up at his check down. That's great job. Sees the first window, closed quick, pressure in his face, dumps it off to his check
Another
down.
quick hit on the outside, and that will be the last play of the third quarter. Kazon Villa makes the catch. And we will start the fourth quarter just as we ended halftime. Tied. This time it's 28-28. Both teams get a touchdown here in the third quarter. Timpview driving. We will pick up this drive as we begin the fourth quarter.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of
There's a lot of familiarity between these teams as tonight marks the 5th consecutive season that they are playing each other. We had the opportunity to chat with them earlier on this week about how that impacts the stakes heading into this tonight.
Awesome. Well, for our kids, it's something that we look for every year. When we make our schedules, we want to play the best. We want to play teams with that caliber to see where we're at the beginning.
I like the physicality of Timpview. I like same with Bingham. You know, we scheduled Bingham, Timpview early for physicality, kind of, you know, big linemen. They generally have trenches that are big.
It brings a different atmosphere because we're already a game in, and so we kind of know more what we need to do, but it's definitely just adds a level of excitement.
Timpview came out, blew us out first game in last year, and I still have a chip on my shoulder from that.
Certainly a nice rivalry that they have going on here. Jeremiah and Slide, back to you.
Mariluz, thank you. It does have an intensity of that rivalry feel here. We've seen that tonight. Now, speaking of intensity, how about that run by True Toa? He's having himself a night. Wow.
Tow truck is carrying defenders tonight. He is doing a great job. This offense, as we said, is so hard to stop. Honestly, it's about execution. The way they are executing on offense is giving Lone Peak a lot of problems.
Kasuga caught.
Great
tackled
defense.
Quickly. Nice stop.
Great tackle right there.
That was Landon Goff with the stop. If he doesn't make that play, then who knows what Pula could have done.
Another first down, but again, here you got 4th and short. You're going to do QB sneak here. It's going to be purple. I mean, that's what we used to call it.
Let's see if they call it.
It'll be,
what are they going to do? They're going to go under center and go. And Kasuga pushes forward with that offensive line.
Yeah, why do anything else?
It's not rocket science.
You don't need to do anything else. That's exactly what you got to do. And that's where Troy Polamalu jumps over.
Yep.
He knows it's coming. You know, it's QB sneak right here. Everybody knew that. That's the easy first down, 3rd and inches. You know what's coming. Just make it happen. And great execution. The way they do it, there's no reason to do anything else. Even if you get around the goal line, just do that same play.
Timpview in the red zone, 1st and 10 from the 18. Kasuga throws it. It is caught, but the stop is made quickly.
It's a great job. As a defense, you want to be able to tackle the catch. You're not going to be able to disrupt or deflect all of the passes, but what you can affect is yards after catch. I think Lone Peak has done a great job tonight of not allowing so much yards after catch. Besides the big touchdown that we saw in the first half, you know, the yards after catch have been very minimal in this game.
2nd and 8. Handoff up the middle, fighting for yards. And runs into a wall. Bot Mulatalo in there. Number 0. That is a sophomore. Right in the middle of your screen there at number 0, and he is not small.
No!
He is a freak.
I'm telling you, Amy Muala last week.
Yeah, there's some big boys in this state, man. It's just some football players, and they're young.
Not look like their age. It's crazy.
3rd and 5, Kasuga. Looking right, going to throw it to the end zone. Ooh, Nakua had a shot. No flags. The stop is made. Guess who? Mayberry. What a night he has had for Lone Peak. Jaden Mayberry has been their defensive MVP. 2 interceptions, and then breaking this up here. Nakua had the size advantage, and Mayberry makes the play anyway. Big stop there. Now it's forcing 4th and 5. Timpview's going to kick a field goal,
which is huge.
They held him to a field goal.
I'm telling you, that is huge. A lot of people don't think so. When it comes down to the end of this football game, the back and forth that this has had, this field goal is huge. Let's see how it happens.
The kick is up.
Ooh. Yeah.
It is good.
That's huge. You got to take points where you can get it. This back and forth tight matchup. These great juggernaut teams. Although a lot of penalties, few turnovers, that field goal may be the difference, right? It's going to be a 3 or 4 point swing to where there's no opportunities to tie up this game. You know, with that play, you most likely won't go into overtime. So it needs to see exactly like what defense is going to come up. I think you said it earlier in this half. It's just like, who's going to have the ball last, right? Great job by Timpview stopping Lone Peak on that last drive. You know, giving their offense the ball back. Their offense took in 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes off the clock this quarter. Things are going extremely well for Timpview here in their favor. Gonna see how this game finishes up.
31-28. Timpview takes the lead over Lone Peak. 9:26 left to play. Big drive here for the Knights. At home, they'll take this drive to start at the 20-yard line after the touchback. Jackson Blake takes the snap. Ooh, nice defensive play.
Good pressure. Always gotta love that penetration in the backfield. That's a
Jalen Namulati, who has been busy tonight. He's shared a sack earlier, and now he's got a big tackle for loss in a crucial drive for Lone Peak, and now they're 5 yards back.
Hey,
looking at 2nd and 15.
Playing from behind. This is the fourth quarter. You got 9 minutes left, or now under 9 minutes. You got to be aggressive.
Taking a deep shot over the middle.
Great.
Oh, it's caught.
Great.
What a play by Trey Robinson.
Oh, my gosh.
Huge play.
Oh, my gosh. One, the safety had the angle. The safety had the angle to come affect this throw, but this is all effort by the receiver. Normally, when a receiver feels contact like that, they'll stop running and not make an effort to make a play on the ball. He did an amazing job of bodying up against the cornerback, feeling that pressure, leaning up, and putting himself in position to catch that football. Great adjustment right there by Robinson, coming away with that.
Lone Peak now at the 49-yard line. Robinson again.
Oh, my gosh. That's it.
Oh, they're not going to. He's not going to make the catch.
Stop the ball.
It was electric, but didn't come down with it. So we saw what Trey Robinson could do last week, and he's back at it again this week, but could not hold on here. Yep. Hit the ground a little too hard.
That's hard to do, man.
So it'll be 2nd and 10.
But Robinson makes some great adjustments in the air.
He's an athlete. He can get up there.
Yes.
All right, Blake looking to his left. Nope, there was some miscommunication there. Mayberry was not ready for that. Sorry, that's not Mayberry. That's Matthias Nawahine, who also plays defensive back. So it'll be 3rd and 10. Big play for both teams here. Lone Peak needs to keep this drive alive. A stop for Timpview on the road here would be huge with a 3-point lead. And the way their offense is going right now, it's a good bet they're going to score next time the offense touches it. Lone Peak's got to keep up. Blake over the middle, taking a deep shot again. Oh, nice defensive play because it was there.
Yes.
It was there.
Great job going stride for stride with the receiver, making that a tough catch. If he caught that, that was going to be a tough get. But this was a good throw. Hit him in the hands, gave him an opportunity to catch it, right?
Isa Naliai with a huge play for Timpview's defense.
This right here, I don't know about. You're going for it on 4th down. You're down by 3.
You're at midfield.
The caveat here that you have to think about as a coach is we can't stop Timpview's offense.
Right.
So we got to go.
Blake goes short, and it's not there. Robinson can't bring that in, and that's rough for Lone Peak. They're going to turn the ball over on downs.
Yeah, that was rough. That's so hard. As I said, it's a battle of field position. You could potentially pin them down on their side, but they chose to go for it.
Let's go down to Mariluz, who's having fun with the Lone Peak student section.
Jeremiah, I'm always having fun in the student section. You know that. I'm here with Noah, who is the student body president of Lone Peak High School. Noah, what can you say about the school spirit here at Lone Peak that is set apart from other schools in the state?
Lone Peak has one of the best school spirits in the state. We all get into the themes, as you can see. We're a super loud student section, and we get really into the chants, so it's super fun. These games are always awesome.
And for those who might not be able to tell, what is the theme tonight?
The theme is neon out, so everyone's in their best fits for neon. Everyone's looking good, so yeah, super fun.
Where'd you get this vest from?
I got this from my friend Easton over there, and then this is my hunting hoodie.
Fantastic. What a great fit. Noah, good luck to your team.
Thank you so much.
All right, Jeremiah and Sam, back to you guys.
Section, Lone Peak always has great support. Look out, Mariluz. Pray for Mariluz. She may not make it out of there.
Shout out to Easton with the neon hookups.
Absolutely. Via with the carry. Breaks some tackles, gets some positive yards. About 2-3 yards on the carry. I'll bring up second and about 7. Lone Peak needs their fans right now. It's a little dead over here.
Yes.
We're under 8 minutes to play, and Timpview's still going tempo. They're not too worried about killing clock. They're trying to get in the end zone again.
That's their offense.
Yep. They're not going to change now.
No, don't change up the game plan. You're not in a position to be comfortable.
Fighting close to the marker, but short. True Toa, who is having a night. He's got to be close to. He's well over 20 carries tonight.
Oh yeah.
Tow truck getting it done tonight. That's a great nickname.
Oh yeah.
He's been pulling this Timpview offense all night. He's been their MVP.
Oh, for sure.
A lot of great plays though. Been able to overcome some penalties and all those interceptions. And here they are with a chance to beat Lone Peak on the road. Ooh, nice stop by the Lone Peak defense. And they get the stop.
That's a big stop right there. That's a big stop right there. Now it's 4th down. If Timpview is they're aggressive and confident as well. So they're going to go for it.
Jackson Arrington gets the stop, but he's going to need another here. Timpview going for it. 4th and 3 from the Lone Peak 47.
Oof, it's so hard. You got no safeties in the middle of the field. Everybody's up around the line of scrimmage. So, again, it sucks because you're putting your defenders on a one-on-one, right, on the outside. So this needs to be a bluff. They need to bluff all of their safeties up as if they're in zero coverage and then move your safeties back just before the snap and provide shade. This is going to be tough. This is going to be a tough decision on both teams. What do you go for? What do you do? You know, I think Timpview's going to tell Kasuga that, like, look, here's 2 options. If you get the safeties up, you get the safeties back. This is what you do. This is what you look for. The thing with that, offense needs so much coordination. The receiver needs to know what the quarterback is thinking when he sees the look. The quarterback needs to know what the receiver's thinking. Running back needs to know what the quarterback's thinking, too, if I need to block or I need to do a check down, because it's only 4 yards that we need to go. This is a big play.
6:26 left. 4th and 3 for Timpview. From the Lone Peak 47, they are going for it.
This is what you have Denny as your defensive coordinator, though. You know, he can get very, very creative on the defensive side of the ball.
Timpview spreading it out. Kasuga is going to punt it. And that is not.
No, it's going to come back.
A great punt, but it takes a Timpview bounce.
Great bounce.
So it's still going to work out favorably for Timpview.
I mean, that's what you should do. You're up.
It's the right call. It's the conservative call. You're give Lone Peak the ball at midfield on their home field.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with what they did there. You probably wanted a deeper kick, but you'll take it from your quarterback, who's not used to doing that.
Just outside the 20. I mean,
yeah, you're at the 28-yard line. You'll take it.
It's almost a touchback.
So now Lone Peak, they need to go. Well, they need at least get in a field goal range to tie this, but they're thinking touchdown. They got 6 minutes to go win this football game, and now the 23-yard line. They just need 77 yards to do that. So here we go. Blake trips to his right. He's looking there. Now he's over the middle. Now he's going to run. He's got a blocker. Tripped up just short of the first down. He's past the 30.
Great decision. Great decision there. Keep the ball, pick up the first down. You're not in a rush. Honestly, this is great. If Lone Peak can methodically move down the field, take up all the clock, you're only going to leave Timpview with a minute 20 seconds left to drive all the way down the football field. So here you're keeping the clock moving and you're picking up yards here, which is good. The thing is, you have to execute.
Yep.
These last two drives for Lone Peak, they have not been able to execute and get down the field effectively.
5:40 and counting. Blake. Catch is made and a flag.
Yeah, that's got to be pass.
The catch was actually not made. The ball did not end up in the hands of Robinson, but we do have a penalty.
Yeah, the defense was pushing the receivers into each other. That's a definite defensive penalty there. Get the call from the ref.
Aaron, holding. Hey, illegal block in the back on the defense. That's a 10-yard penalty. It'll be a first down. 17.
So this will be a big boost to the Lone Peak offense.
I don't normally get block in the back on the defensive guy.
Not often.
But again, in a game with this many penalties,
we're getting creative now.
Right.
We're trying to think of things we never heard of before, and that's one. Block in the back on the defense. 31-28.
Shift to
5:30 left. Deep over the middle.
Oh.
And it's intercepted.
Oh. Gotta have the read. Come on, Blake.
For the second time tonight, Haven Halliday has an interception.
That's just
and it's
not the route.
It could be a backbreaker for the Knights.
That's definitely a backbreaker. One, you went empty. You had crossing routes over the middle. If he just waited for the second window, it's going to come open here on the right. But he was locked in, zeroed in on one guy. And if that one guy, you got to understand, if you're locked in on one guy, you have to know what's the read. It's not the one-on-one read, because the one-on-one read is my ball placement, right? But where I get in trouble is where is the additional help? That safety on multiple interceptions tonight has not moved.
Halliday's a vet safety. He's played a lot of snaps. He knew what to do.
Yes.
So now Lone Peak's defense needs to come up with a play. That's not going to help. Kazon Villa with a nice carry.
The athlete.
Up to the 40-yard line. Close to it.
Not your running back.
Mark him at the 38.
Not your receiver, not your tight end, but your athlete.
Hey, it's fourth quarter. It's time to put the ball in the hands of your athlete.
Yes.
And he is one. He's having another nice night, too. They've found places for Villa to have an impact.
Right.
Toya's been the heavy carry usage guy, and Vaya's done his thing, and they've mixed the ball around with their receivers. As Keenan Pula and Tainakua both have touchdown catches tonight, but they have found Villa his spots, and he's been effective. 1st and 10. Kasuga keeps it, and he goes down really quick.
Great defense.
That's what the Lone Peak Knights defense needed. That clock is running. Timpview with a 3-point lead. We are coming up on 4:30 left to play. Timpview in no hurry.
No, not at all. Eat that clock.
Which might be really hard for them, because they love to go fast. But they're being disciplined right now.
Right.
With the game on the line here, they could take this up to almost 4:10. Shutoa. First down and more. Toa's loose. They take him down inside the 30, down to the 26-yard line. True Toa has been special tonight.
Well over 100 yards rushing tonight.
Look at that gap. Boom.
Look at this good burst. Great job right there. Great job right there. Keeps the stay in balance, keeps the clock going.
Landon Goff saves the touchdown, but Toa does some damage all the way down to the 27-yard line. 1st and 10, Timpview. That clock is running.
Shout out to this offensive line tonight.
They have been fantastic.
Oh, my gosh. On multiple.
A lot of the penalties have not been on the offensive line. They've been other areas. This offensive line has been the story tonight, in my opinion. Besides the turnovers and the penalties. You're right. This Timpview offensive line deserves a lot of credit for the score on the scoreboard right now. So a loss of 1, so it'll be 2nd and 11, but that clock continues to run. We're coming up on 3 minutes to play, and we'll be under 3 minutes by the time they snap this ball. Kasuga's looking right.
Okay,
Pula's open. That's Jaron Pula.
But he
goes out of bounds to stop the clock. So
now you don't want to stop the clock.
That's favorable for Lone Peak.
Right. So that's a teaching moment for the young guys, although they're in good position where they're moving the ball and it doesn't really matter. But just give it to the tow truck and you'll get that clock moving again.
3rd down and 2. Kasuga's going to go middle again.
Like that offensive line.
It's just
a surge.
It's like just a sure thing with
like
that
the
offensive
Philadelphia
line.
Eagles last year, right?
Yeah. They're so good and dominant.
You're not going to stop that.
No.
You know exactly what's coming. It's just like, stop me.
Oh, but there's a penalty. So there is one thing that can stop them.
Ooh.
That is the penalty. So this is a problem for Timpview. I think this is going back their way. Going against them, I should say. But we will wait for the official call from our crew. Again, thank you to these officials for all they do. Without them, we could not have high school football. Oh, nope. It's a 1st down. Oh, it's after the play. After the play.
Oh, yeah.
So it will be 1st down, but they're going to be pushed back.
Well, honestly, that's not bad. You get pick up the 1st down, but you have an opportunity to keep the clock moving. So you're not up against it to essentially make your opponent feel you. So
clock just started.
Unfortunate penalty, but
Lone Peak would probably rather have the time right now than the yardage. But they don't get to choose.
No, they don't.
31-28 Timpview. They're milking this 3-point lead. Vaya with the carry. He's going down quickly. But that clock continues to run. When will Lone Peak start taking their timeouts?
This is a very smart football team.
They just took one of them. They have 2 left. They've saved them for the right time. It'll be 2nd and 9 when we come back from this timeout. We'll keep it here. 2:31 to play.
Been very impressed by both teams here.
Yeah, this is...
I mean, yes, we've had a lot of penalties. Yes, you know, there's been some turnovers. But in high school football, these teams discipline their athletes that they have. You know, Robinson, Nakua, Kazan Villa, Tow Truck, Kasuga, Blake. Like, there's so much talent on the field year after year. And then normally you're all like, oh, we gotta restructure, we gotta reset, we gotta regroup, and there's none of that. You're a juggernaut school. You're bringing people in, you're developing from within. All these guys are young. They've been with the program. They were here last year, all the way to the state championship in the 3 overtimes. Man, yeah, this is great football.
2nd and 9 from the 29. Kasuga over the middle. It's behind the receiver, Pula. Incomplete. That does stop the clock without having to use a timeout.
Bad move. Run the ball.
They were killing clock with that.
Run the football.
Force them to take their timeouts.
Because, force them to take their timeouts, because that right there is bad. Lone Peak didn't use a timeout. You didn't advance the ball, anything. You lost it down, and you stopped the clock. That's all bad on Timpview. Run the football. Even run the football right here.
Break for Lone Peak, and now Lone Peak gets a stop if they can finish this off, and they do.
And that's great for Lone Peak because now you kick them out of field goal range, essentially. They're saying they took the ball away from them, but they blew the whistle, so it's not.
Easton Anderson was there first, and he got a lot of help.
So
huge play.
So big
and
TFL.
Lone Peak takes the timeout to stop the clock with 2:17 remaining.
That's awesome. That's great. That's great for Lone Peak. Essentially, this would be almost a 50-yard field goal. It would be about a 49-yard field goal that they'll have to attempt here. But the TFL is what did it. They wouldn't get it if they missed this field goal. Lone Peak takes the ball and only has to charge down the field about 67 yards with 2 minutes to go.
Now the ball is at the 32, so we're looking at a 49-yard field goal attempt if they choose to do that.
I mean, that's what I would do, because I mean, you're not going to run around with Kasuga. It's not going to make a change. You have the opportunity to get your quarterback hurt that way. I mean, if you run the ball, it doesn't matter because it's turnover on downs.
The benefit of 3 points forces the other team to score a touchdown to win it.
Two options.
But
yeah,
it's just 3 points.
I mean, and Lone Peak has one timeout left.
They're not kicking it, by the way.
No, yeah. So you take a shot at the end zone.
Yeah, that's what they'll do.
You take a shot at the end zone or a shot at the first down. So it's got to be deep, but I don't think they're going to attack one of the one-on-ones. You get one of these amazing athletes that you have on this football team. You run go routes on the outside, see where the free safety is not, and throw the opposite way.
Crucial moment here, 4th and 11 from the 32. Lone Peak needs a stop here, and we got another timeout. Timpview takes a timeout.
Great timeout by them.
Yep.
Great timeout by them.
Talk this over.
See what Coach Denny has Lone Peak in, and then make your decision what you want to do. I'd run for verticals. Stress that middle safety. Stress that middle safety. Have that running back there blocking for you. So you got an extra blocker, so you got an extra second for Kasuga. Throw that ball right on the outside shoulder of one of your receivers, away from where the free safety is. Shoot, yeah. I'd go for the end zone right here. I'd take Kazon Villa, put him in the slot up here. Take a number 3 receiver to run off the middle safety. Run a go route on the far side. And run a corner with Kazon Villa onto that top corner up there.
Here we go. 2:22 remaining. 4th and 11 from the 32.
So they got trips, just so I think. So they're going to run a vertical here with the bottom receiver.
Lone Peak bringing the heat, and again, Kasuga's going to punt as he did on the last 4th down. And it's going to take a Lone Peak bounce. But still, the Knights are pinned deep. So the Knights defense steps up and gets it done. They give their offense a chance, and now it's up to Lone Peak's 2-minute drill.
Yeah.
Can they execute this and win the game, or at least put themselves in field goal range to extend the game?
This is tons of time. Tons of time. Don't panic. If you're Lone Peak, don't panic. You still got one timeout and 2 minutes on the clock. That's tons of time. Don't get comfortable, but don't panic either.
Here we go. 31-28, 2:14 remaining. Lone Peak needs a score. Blake. Ooh. Almost intercepted. Guess who? Halliday. He has been all over the place on defense tonight.
Yes, he has.
2 key plays, 2 interceptions tonight. Timpview's going to lose the turnover battle, but Halliday kept it close, almost single-handedly. All right, Blake's got trips to his left. We'll see if he looks there. Empty backfield. He's in trouble. He's going to try to scramble. He's got to protect the football, and he's taken down at the 10-yard line.
Gotta go,
that is a sack.
Don't
the clock will run.
Don't take a timeout. You got to go. Got to go. Got to go. Just big 3rd down right here. 4-down football. Go, go, go.
Namulauti with the sack. The throw is made. Ooh. Ooh.
Do that. Oh, you're going to call back? Oh.
They are going to throw a penalty flag on that call.
He caught him, didn't he? He didn't even hit him. He caught him.
I want to see it again, and you can see in slow motion.
Oh, the ball was way too high for the seam route. He didn't hit him. He did not hit his face.
That's a judgment call.
Oh, that's so bad.
They decided that was
that's so bad.
An illegal hit.
That's
a defenseless
so bad.
Receiver. He went high on him. I know the contact wasn't strong, but I'm sure they would say by rule that's what they have to make. That's the call they had to make.
As a defender, my heart.
Oh, I know. I know.
I know. I'm screaming every time I see this internally. Like I can't. I don't know if I could be.
It is really hard to ask a safety who's trying to make a play to win the game.
To win the game?
To have restraint in that moment where your job is to make sure that guy doesn't make a catch. And he did have restraint, but still, by rule, he went high on him, and
that's not a penalty.
They're going to make that call.
He like hugged him.
This is huge.
This is so big.
Illegal substitution against Timpview was the call.
Oh, it wasn't even. No, we're wrong.
Oh,
it was not.
Okay, woo.
It was not what we thought it was.
Woo.
I didn't know what else it could have been, so we were
right. The way he threw that flag.
They did not. They made the right call, to be honest. And credit to the defender. Gregory did a great job. That wasn't the call. It was. It was something completely different.
That makes me feel a lot better. Thank you. He didn't call what I thought he was going to call, so that's good.
So here we go, 3rd and 8 from the 15.
Tons of time still.
1:43 left.
Here's the thing, it's 4 downs. You have to go for it on 4th down, so don't think you have to pick everything up here. Take what Timpview gives you. Timpview will play off.
Coach Brockbanks wants an explanation.
Well, Brockbank, they went hurry up.
Yeah, he wants that call.
Timpview was substituting, so that's a good call. I thought they were going to get bailed out by the helmet to helmet. See, this is where I would have Jackson Blake over there talking to the offensive coordinator. What do you see?
Oh, yeah.
What are you looking for? These are times where you need to take
He got
advantage.
2 plays to get 8 yards.
If your coach is arguing, you as offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, need to be over there talking to him, trying to get him like, look, this is what you're seeing. Look, this is what they're pre-snap looking at.
Coach Brockbank does not like the result of that play. He thought his team had a 1st down.
And flyers to make a donation.
Turned out to be something entirely different.
Thank you very much for your contributions.
Yeah, I would be.
And now what are we doing?
I'd be talking.
We're
to Jackson
rehuddling.
Blake.
Chelsea Bell.
So the officials are.
We have an item of yours up from the
He's not happy. He's not happy. He wanted the 15-yard automatic first down penalty. He's not going to get it. And the fans here are not happy either.
No, well, of course not. They want.
All right, back to business. 3rd and 8 from the 15. 2 plays here to get a 1st down for Lone Peak. They got to make it happen. Blake taking a deep shot. Not there. Too long. So that'll force 4th down.
As I said, you're going for it on 4th down. You don't have to get it all on one thing. Get 4 yards here. Make it 4th and manageable. Now it's 4th and 9, 4th and 8.
But there's just a tendency, especially a quarterback making a second start. We've got to go 85 yards. We got to go. And you want to make a big play. You're right. You got to have a sense of the moment, down in distance, and make a play accordingly. Plenty of time. They have 1 timeout left.
They
got to get it here, though.
As your head coach was arguing with the ref, you should have been talking to him.
Trips to his right. 5 receivers. Blake's got to get a 1st down. Takes a shot over the middle.
Oh,
it is caught.
Oh, my God.
It is. No, it is. It's incomplete. It's incomplete.
I thought he hauled that in.
Oh, it looked good for a moment. It's a little dark here. We couldn't tell for sure. Seth Haskett had it for a moment, but give credit to the Timpview defense to break this up. He had it there, and he could not hold on as it went to the ground.
Oh, he almost one-handed that. Great job with going through contact by the Timpview defender right there. The play is never done, because if he didn't do what he did, that would have been a 1st down, and Lone Peak would still be charging. Great defensive play right there. Almost an amazing catch. Almost an amazing catch right there. But again, now
there is a penalty.
Oh,
isn't that fitting?
Oh, gosh. On the defensive side of the ball, too.
Let's see what the call is. that just a sideline warning?
Half the distance. That's not a sideline warning. That's a big penalty.
Yeah, that was unsportsmanlike conduct. So
yeah.
Tough moment there for Lone Peak. For a second there, you thought they had the first down, and then give credit to Timpview's defense. They made a play when they needed to.
3 knees and it's done. 3 kneel downs and it's done.
This would be a huge win for Timpview as the 5A team to come in here and beat a really good Lone Peak team, a 6A power, a team in Region 3 that Lehigh head coach Ed Larson calls the SEC of Utah high school football, and he's not wrong. Dominant, I mean, great from top to bottom. I mean, so it's not going to be easy for Lone Peak in region play when they get there, but right now for Timpview, this is a big moment for them to come up here and get this win. Kasuga in victory formation to burn the clock. Coach Atawaya, head coach Donnie Atawaya in his second year. A great job tonight having his young men ready to go. He's not going to like everything about this game. There was a lot of ugly for Timpview in this game. The special teams miscues, all the penalties, the interceptions, they got a lot to clean up, but you saw how dominant Timpview can be when they're running on all cylinders. If they eliminate the penalties and play clean and have a better understanding of situational football, it's hard to see another 5A team finding a way to beat them.
Great call by Coach Blake here. Now he called timeout, so now they have to run a play here on 4th down.
They can't just kneel it.
They can't just kneel it. Even if they kick a field goal, I would kick a field goal if I was Timpview.
Great clock management, honestly. That's brilliant.
If he takes that timeout earlier, this doesn't work.
Nope.
So here it puts Timpview like, what do we do? I would kick a field goal if I were them. And this still gives you an opportunity to get 1 or 2 plays. And Music City Miracle.
I wouldn't kick a field goal. I'll tell you why.
Why?
What if it gets blocked and returned the other way? It's a play that could hurt you. If you just take this play and run out a few seconds and then you just give them a chance with, would they be at like the 23, 25 yard line? What are they going to do in that situation with 1 play?
I agree.
I wouldn't kick the field goal because it's too risky because something bad could happen.
I agree.
The one thing that could beat you in this game is that. That or some kind of wild play, 1 play thing.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a Hail Mary. They're not in a position to do that. So.
Yeah, so I agree with you. That is, if you want to take out every scenario possible, what I would do is I would go max protection here, put 1 receiver out on the field, throw a fade, but throw that ball up in the air like you're doing 500 back at recess. Throw it up in the air. That takes 4 seconds off the clock just by the ball being in the air. And that leaves only 4 seconds left for, well, depending on how long your receiver or your people block for you, that could leave only, 2 seconds left for Lone Peak at the end of the day. So we'll see. Got a lot of situational football here in this second week of the season. So many penalties, ends of half, how do you end the half, turnovers, field position battles, when to go for it on 4th down, when not to, how to utilize your timeouts. Young guys making big plays.
From the 24-yard line, 4th and goal for the Thunderbirds.
11 seconds. 4th down. What are they going to do? They're just going to try to burn a lot of it. And they are. It's pretty effective. So 4.9 seconds left. So Lone Peak will get the ball back. They'll get 1 play. He tried to stay in bounds. It didn't really matter. Once the possession changes, the clock stops.
And the possession arrow is headed the other way.
So here comes some pitchy woo-woo.
Right. Fingers crossed here in the Lone Peak home crowd, trying to make things happen. Yeah, we're going to see. We'll see. You can see a Lone Peak miracle. What would this be called?
This would be something. This would be.
How do we name this?
Well, they're at the 18-yard line. They don't have time to kick a field goal, so you got to score a touchdown here. You got one play, 82 yards. This would be something. And most of Timpview's defense is back. They're going to rush 3. So here we go. It's always interesting, these situations. What can they come up with here? We have the snap. And they're going to go the other way.
Boom.
And he's hit, and that's how the game ends.
Yeah. See,
an anticlimactic finish to a great ball game. Timpview gets the win. On the road, 31-28 is the final.
He made it a lot harder for his blockers to block for him by moving in the pocket. He moved left and went all the way back to the right, essentially setting something up, but him moving allowed the defenders to get around him because the offensive lineman can't hold. So, he made it a lot harder for his teammates to actually block for him.
That's how this game ends. This is a game that lived up to the hype for us. It wasn't perfect for either team. Both teams with a lot of miscues, penalties. A lot for both teams to learn from, but, man, they gave us a show, and I have a feeling, Sly, they're not going to play each other again this year. They're in different classifications, but both of these teams are going to be a factor in the playoffs, and both of these teams could end up in Rice-Eccles Stadium once again.
Oh, yeah, of course, man. But as you said, this was far from perfect. They got a lot of things to clean up. One thing is there are some amazing athletes on both sides of the ball on both of these teams, and come November when we're covering these guys at Rice-Eccles Stadium, I think both of these guys will be tops in their respective regions and divisions, vying for a state championship on both sides. But it lets you know, Timpview, very, very good team. That Skyridge team put it on them last week. Skyridge is definitely somebody to reckon with, a force to reckon with at the end of the day. This Lone Peak is a very, very good team with things to learn. Of course, this is a good exhibition game, just like both of the coaches wanted. They wanted to have a true test for their team. They're like, look, we schedule these hard games early in the season, so we understand the rigor that we're going to have to go through when we hit region play. So I think that Lone Peak took a step in the right direction tonight, understanding what they need to do when they get into these tight games. But great game. Aside from the penalties and turnovers, a very, very great game.
This is why these two schools schedule this game every year, because it's a great test early in the season to see what they're made of, and both teams will benefit from this, and both teams will benefit from this in the RPI as well. We'll try to get some post-game interviews as soon as we can.
And now, is that all that matters? Is your RPI right?
Essentially, for playoff seeding, for state tournament seeding, your RPI determines that.
Yes.
So that's a big factor, and it has actually put more emphasis on non-region scheduling, because you don't want to stack W's in your non-region like some teams maybe used to.
Right.
Because you can't afford to take those RPI hits. You want to schedule as tough as you can. So it has made it harder for some of the smaller schools to get games against bigger schools. But overall, it's a system that has seemed to be pretty effective in setting up state tournaments that are fun to watch and full of drama. Let's go down to Mary Louise Cook, who's got a player after the game.
All right, absolutely. Great win for your team. Now, I want to talk about the offensive line, because they were a huge storyline. What kind of confidence did they give you tonight?
Obviously, as an offense, it wasn't pretty. I mean, we'd love to pass the ball, but anytime we can run it and our O-line's doing great, we just let them eat, And our running backs are doing great, too, so I'm super proud of O-line and running backs tonight.
All right, now back-to-back wins against Lone Peak to be able to do it here on their turf. What kind of confidence is that going to give you moving forward into the rest of your season?
I think our team needed this. I mean, obviously having a tough loss against Skyridge coming into the half, being up by 1 and then them slowly pulling away. I mean, it gives us confidence, so we're able to go into next week with a little bit of confidence, yeah.
Now, I know that hashtag all in is a big mantra for your team. How did that come into play tonight for you?
That hashtag is legit. Our team is super dialed in, and I mean we try not to get super down on ourselves. So when we say all in, we all in to be focused, all in to be positive, and it's super great.
And I'm sure that momentum was key in a game that was so back and forth the entire time. Congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you. Yep.
All right, Jeremiah and Cy, back to you.
All right. Thanks, Mary Luz. Helam and Kasuga, that's a pretty well done interview for a sophomore.
Right.
That's a lot to ask somebody at that age to go out there after a game like that and have that kind of poise. So
look at the poise that he had in the interview.
That's why I love hearing from him is you get to see and understand what it takes for somebody that age to be that mature and poised and be ready to lead a high school football team that's competing for a state championship. It's not an easy thing to do, to win the trust of all those young men you see on that screen right there, but he has. Talking to the coaches, he has earned the respect of everybody in that huddle, and a sophomore is a captain and a leader of this team. That's rare.
Yeah, just imagine the interviews we're going to do with him over the next couple years and to see his growth in that. I mean, Helam and Kasuga is a definite talent, man, and so awesome to see him from last year to this year. I feel like he's made a jump even in that. We were very impressed with him last year to now. He's grown in just a year. So just imagine where he's going to be in the next couple of years. We got some great athletes in the state of Utah.
Absolutely. Timpview with a big 31-28 win at Lone Peak here on Game Night Live. Next week, we're going to head up north, Sly. We're going to go to Utah State University. We're going to go to Maverick Stadium for a high school football game, a 6:15 p.m. kickoff. Ridgeline will sort of host Stansbury in a game we think could be a 4A state championship preview. I know you're looking forward to that game. I am as well. What has you excited about seeing that matchup?
Well, seeing Stansbury go into this division and fight. And we know Ridgeline is always up there, especially the last couple of years. They've been, especially in their home area. Up there in Logan, they are a dominant force up there, and to see them play at this D1 level school, that's an environment that every college kid wants to play at. So it's going to be good on both sides. I love how Stansbury has always ran their offense these last couple of years. I think them making the jump and facing Ridgeline is going to be an awesome matchup.
That's a wrap from Highland. Timpview gets the 31-28 win. We'll see you next week up in Cache Valley at Utah State University, 6:15 p.m. kickoff between Stansbury and Ridgeline. Until then, on behalf of the entire Game Night Live crew, thank you for watching tonight's game. So long, and we'll see you next week.